Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and Woodland graduates, to the first ever Woodland Virtual Senior Recognition Night. Although we cannot meet in person tonight for this wonderful event, we hope that you find this video version an adequate alternative. So tonight's going to be split up into 3 different segments. The first segment is going to be where we award scholarships. We're going to award those scholarships to the students that have applied for those, often interviewed for those, and those are our local scholarship winners, and that's going to be segment 1. The second segment is going to be where I talk about each of the graduating seniors, 143 strong. And you're going to have to pay attention, you're going to have to stay with me, and if you haven't figured out how to snap your fingers, you're going to have to learn between now and when I start. And then the third part is the ever-popular senior slideshow, produced by our awesome senior class advisor, Mr. Cash Van Cleef. And he's worked hard to get all those pictures from the kids, even though they disappeared on their epic senior skip day on March 13th. We haven't seen them since, except to pick up their cap and gowns. But we harassed them and harangued them to get pictures, so that'll be in the slideshow. So those are going to be the 3 segments tonight. So, those awards. The awards first that we're going to give out. They're going to be given out for effort in a number of areas, including academic effort, athletic effort, or just volunteer effort. Whether they're for these academic prowess or their citizenships, the kids that have won these awards tonight have won them fairly. They've won them by their efforts. They've won them by what they've shown. They won them by applying. And if you're sitting there going, why did my son or daughter win this award? It's entirely possible they didn't apply. We had a process that the kids went through, and those are the kids that were included in the running for these scholarships. But before we get officially started, I really want to extend a couple of really important thank yous. First of all, on behalf of our students, our staff, and our entire community, we want to thank the commitment from these local donors, these scholarship folks that dig into their pockets to give to our wonderful Woodland kids to help them further their education. It's amazing with what you do, and in fact, we are going to award over $75,000 tonight to over 20 different recipients. That is money that is coming from this local community for our local kids. It's simply amazing. It's this critical partnership that we envy, that I just am going to miss when I leave here at the end of this year. It's an amazing community that supports their students. To you, the students, when you hear your name, when you see your picture, and you know that you're a scholarship winner, we understand, we get it, the hard work that you've put into the classroom, into the playing field, in all aspects of your life that went into this exact moment. And although we can't be together in the auditorium or in the commons, you're on your couch right now, you're watching, that is still a real moment. It's yours. You've earned it. Congratulations. So thank you. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for continuing to try. And more importantly, thank you for being you. Also, we're going to be mailing a letter to you, the scholarship winners. And that letter, inside of it's going to have the details about how to access your scholarship, how to actually get the money that you're hearing about tonight, how to contact the donors, how to thank them. So that letter will be coming in the next couple of weeks. And finally, before I begin the scholarship presentations, I have one more last big thank you. And that is to the Promise Church and to Bryce Phelps, who have been instrumental in putting this night together. So as you're sitting here on your couch, know that they have been pivotal members and crucial members with us to make this happen, to make it look professional, to make it look as it should for you. So thank you to the Promise Church and Bryce Phelps. Couldn't have done it without your help. We are deeply grateful. So let's get started. The first 2 scholarships that you're going to see are video presentations from Mr. Benno and Klatsina Doba, followed by a presentation by Sherry Condit, who is the president of the Woodland Education Association. So stay tuned for those 2, and then I'll be right back to present a whole bunch more.
My name is Benno Doba.
And I'm Klatsina Doba. I want to congratulate you, all of you, on your graduation. It must have been difficult to finish your senior year in isolation. But this also created opportunities for you to open new doors and to find that spark within. Whatever follows in your life is the result of the way you think. For every thought creates your new reality. Make your future great. You have the support of your family, friends, and community. You can do it.
I would also like to congratulate all the seniors who will be graduating this year as the class of 2020 from Woodland High School. This year is so much different because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which you can see because I desperately need a haircut. It has been 23 years since we gave out our first scholarship. About the same time, John Schaub started as the principal of the Woodland High School. Let me use this opportunity to thank Mr. Schaub for the great job he has done for all these years, and that I regret that we cannot stand on the same podium with him this year to hand out our scholarships. It was always a lot of fun. The reason Klaasien and I started our scholarship awards for all these years was to show our appreciation to certain students who made a difference in school and in our community. We decided to award a total of $2,000 in scholarships to 7 students, 6 for $250 each and 1 for $500. Although we know that it is up to each of the individual students to excel in their own way into the future, I feel that the parents of all the students deserve a lot of credit for their role with the upbringing of such a great group of young adults. I would like to leave a 10-point message to all students who watch this video. Take responsibility, carry a smile, mind your manners, learn from others. Don't try to be all things to all people. Know your boundaries. Express your love. Never ever give up on your dreams, no matter what. Trust in yourself and have a positive attitude. And finally, count your blessings. The 6 Benjamin Klaasien Scholarships Awards in the amount of $250 each go to Gwyneth Elkington, Ole Warrendal, Austin Schoenborn, Rach Young, Nicole Guthrie, and Katja Christine Olsen. And the $500 award goes to Elizabeth Petnout. Congratulations, we wish all of you and your fellow students the best of luck in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sherry Condit, and I am president of the Woodland Education Association. The WEA is an association made up of teachers, counselors, school psychologists, and a variety of other certificated staff members here at Woodland School District. Each year, the WEA distributes 3 scholarships given to students based on GPA, letters of recommendation, and resume. We have a committee of staff from across the district who read these applications and report their scores. So proudly, I'm here to share with you the winners of the WEA scholarship. Our first $500 winner is Isaac Hall. Our second $500 winner is Elizabeth Patnode. And our $1,000 winner is Nicole Guthrie. Congratulations on all of your hard work.
Well, congratulations to those winners, and now it's time for me to give out the rest. The first couple here that I'm going to hand out don't actually have money associated with them, but that doesn't mean they're not important. And we had a staff that put together their heads and voted on these, and so let's meet some winners from our military folks that are giving this award. The first one is the U.S. Marines Semper Fidelis Award for Musical Excellence. And this is given to a wonderful student who has incredible music talent, and the recipient of this award goes to Isaac Hall. Congratulations, Isaac. He is an incredible musician, that is for sure. Many, many talents. Up next is a U.S. Army Reserve National Scholar Athlete. So you need to be a scholar and an athlete to be able to win this award. There's 2 of them, one for a boy and one for a girl. So the recipients of this are Nicole Guthrie for the girls. Congratulations, Nicole. And the winner for the boys is Mr. Aaron Shaw. Congratulations, Aaron, another outstanding athlete and scholar. Up next is the U.S. Marines Distinguished Athlete Award. And again, this is our distinguished athlete in both our one for the boys and one for the girls. Again, our faculty put our heads together, we put our coaches together, and we made some decisions here. And for the boys, the winner is Trey Hansen. Congratulations, Trey, on that. Again, an outstanding athlete, dead-eye basketball player, three-point shooter. Congratulations, Trey. And for the girls, your outstanding distinguished athlete from the U.S. Marines is Kaylee Wiest. Congratulations, Kaylee, on that award. Again, another outstanding athlete. Wish I had millions of dollars to give you, Kaylee and Aaron and Isaac and Nicole, but I don't. Those don't come with any money, but they do come with the notoriety that you have been selected by the staff for that award. Up next is an amazing one. It's new to Woodland this year, and it's called the Peter R. Marsh Foundation. And this is one scholarship winner in the amount of $500. And this award is going to go to a person that was selected from Woodland High School for their outstanding and amazing selfless service to others, committing volunteer hours just because. Not because they're trying to pad a resume, not because they're trying to impress others. They are doing it out of the goodness of their heart. As I like to say, they're doing community service because they want to. So, these awards are being selected by various students across our Southwest Washington, and we have one recipient who put in over 360 hours of, verified community service. They actually did this. They didn't just fill out a piece of paper. And our recipient is Elizabeth Patnode. Absolutely amazing, Elizabeth. I cannot imagine putting in 360 hours of volunteer service. That is above and beyond. Simply amazing. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Up next, as we move along, is the Woodland Beaver Booster Scholarship. And what I'm going to do now is that you saw I did on that last one. I'm going to talk a little bit about the scholarship so you understand the history behind them, a little bit of the background. Normally, I would have my local scholarship presenters tell you their stories, but many of them couldn't do that, couldn't do the video, so you're left listening to Mr. Schaup talk to you over and over again. Oh well. But I am going to give you the background behind some of these scholarships. In fact, most of them moving forward now. So this is the Beaver Booster Scholarships, and we're going to give away 5 scholarships in the amount of $1,000 each. You can buy a lot of books with $1,000. You can buy a lot of pizza with $1,000. Mom and Dad want you to use it for tuition or trade school or something. Not just pizzas, but you can do it. 5 winners. Now, the Booster Club, in order to be a recipient of this, you have to be a varsity athlete. You have to be a leader on and off the court or field. You have to be a good citizen and a good steward. That means just not a good athlete. You have to be a good person in your core. You had to have a minimum GPA of 3.0. That knocked out a few of you for sure. But minimum GPA of 3.0 and some demonstrated financial need. The Woodland Beaver Boosters also would like to wish the class of 2020 great success as you follow your dreams. The number of scholarships they were able to give each and every year is based on the stadium sign sales and other fundraisers. And again, this is by people that just do this out of the goodness of their hearts, trying to support Woodland athletics. They have nothing in there beyond that, just hard work. They're selling Woodland swag, they're selling those signs, and they do that because they love our students and they love Woodland athletics. So thank you for their efforts there. And please, again, if you want to, parents, next fall, buy a sign around the stadium. Hopefully we'll have regular football and basketball and all that. Support the Beaver Boosters so they can give out even more scholarships next year. But this year they gave away 5. The first winner is Nicole Guthrie. Congratulations, Nicole. The second winner is Mr. Isaac Hall. Congratulations, Isaac. The third recipient is Miss Carly Risley. Wow, awesome. Congratulations, Carly. 2 more to give out. The fourth recipient, Dalen Seipel. Way to go, Dalen. $1,000 for you from the Woodland Beaver Boosters. And your 5th and final scholarship winner is Miss Kaylee Wiest. So congratulations, Kaylee. Those are our 5 winners of the Woodland Beaver Boosters Scholarship. Moving on. Up next is the Ralph and Irene Lindholm Scholarship. This is a scholarship in the amount of $1,000. Now, You may wonder, who in the heck is Ralph or Irene Lindholm? Glad you asked. Let me tell you. It's a cool story. Both Ralph and Irene were graduates from Woodland High School back when, well, I wasn't even around, 1927. I'm not kidding you, 1927. And they lived in Woodland, and the scholarship was given to students who wrote the best letter about why they think they need this scholarship, as well as their current academic and financial needs and achievements. The final selection for this award is by, we have a faculty staff that read those letters and award this. But again, this has been in existence as long as I've been here, 22 years and further, I'm sure. They were here in 1927. The Ralph and Irene Lindholm Scholarship winner is Mr. Trey Hansen. Congratulations, Trey, on that. $1,000 more for you. Up next, Columbia River Carbonates and Hamilton Drywall, one of our amazing businesses right here in town. If you didn't know they existed, they're right on the other side of the railroad tracks off of Pekin Road there. And they give out two $2,000 scholarships that are renewable. So in essence, 2 scholarships for $4,000 each, but the students would get $2,000 this year and $2,000 next year. Now, in order to be a recipient of this, you have to be in at least a 2-year associate's program or a 4-year program. 2 of the scholarships will be given out to separate Woodland High School seniors, of course. You have to demonstrate scholastic ability to succeed in a 2- or 4-year college. You have to demonstrate some financial need. And then the scholarship funding is contingent upon maintaining full-time student status with a minimum GPA of 2.25. So once you get the award, going into college, you just got to maintain basically a C+ average. So we have 2 scholarship winners, basically in the amount of $4,000 each. And I'm seeing in my notes, I messed up there a little bit too. There's also one that's a $3,000 renewable scholarship. So there's 3 scholarships I'm giving out. 2 at $2,000 renewable, 1 at $3,000 renewable. And that $3,000 renewable is a total of 6. That's a lot of money. $10,000, right? Woo! Here we go. So the winner of the 2,000 renewable scholarship is Gwyneth Elkington. I said that wrong, Gwen. I'm sorry. I will work on my name pronunciation. Hopefully I'll get it right in the next one. But Gwen, you win that, Miss Elkington. Elkinton. I'll get it. And the second winner is Carly Risley. Sorry again, Gwen. Carly, you're the other winner of the $2,000 renewable scholarship. Congratulations to you. And finally, the $3,000 renewable, so again, a total of $6,000. This goes to Mr. Trace Logan. Congratulations, Trace. Awesome award. Thank you to Columbia River Carbonates and Hamilton Drywall for those amazing scholarship opportunities for those awesome kids. Up next, Cowlitz County Fire District No. 1 Association. This is a scholarship in the amount of $1,000, and they have one scholarship for us here. Let me read my notes and I'll tell you a little bit of background about them. So this is a volunteer fire department serving the rural woodland community outside of our city limits. The association is a nonprofit organization consisting of members of the fire department. The association works with our local community, donating time, money, and efforts to our local charities and community events. We gotta love our first responders. Thank you, men and women, a part of the Cowlitz County Fire District here. The continuing they're into continuing education in medical and fire-related field if you are going to be a recipient of this scholarship. That's the direction they're wanting you to go. And anyone entering one of these fields can apply, but students must maintain a 3.0 GPA in high school in Running Start or in regular classes. So again, they're looking to support somebody that's going to go into that first responders field, either as a firefighter or a medical professional. And the recipient of this is Mr. Kyle Oliver. Congratulations, Kyle. It's an awesome award, and best of luck to you, and maybe someday you'll be out helping me put out a fire, or if I'm in need of medical help, that's the direction you're going. Congratulations, Kyle. Up next, we've got more money to give away. Isn't this fun? I get to give away other people's money. Love it. This is the Lee and Alice Chester Memorial Scholarship. This is another absolutely fun and amazing little story, because you might wonder, who is Lee and Alice Chester? Well, they were, again, longtime Woodland residents. In fact, Lee, some of my old timers here are gonna know this, Lee managed the Union Oil business, and they had 9 children that went through the Woodland school system. 9 children. Oh my goodness. Union Oil doesn't exist anymore. Go back into your historical map, see if you can find it, because Lee, he was the owner of that. So they established a trust fund, originally in Lee's name when he passed away many, many years ago. And then when his wife died, Alice, in 1995, her name was added to the trust fund as well. And the money from the interest from that trust fund is what provides for this scholarship. So they've been doing this an awful long time, just out of the love for Woodland and the kids of Woodland. So the recipient of this, you need to know, these are some amazing people that still continue to give to the Woodland students long after they've passed away. So it is based on academic performance and financial need, and the final selection of this is made by the Faculty Selection Committee. It's one scholarship in the amount of $500, and the winner is Elizabeth Patnode. Atta girl, Elizabeth, congratulations to you. Yep, that's the same gal that gave away 360 hours of her time just because she was caring individual for others in her volunteer. So she gets this one, the Lee and Alice Chester Memorial Scholarship. Congratulations. Up next, the Greg Buer Memorial Scholarship. It's a scholarship in the amount of $1,000. And this one, well, like many of the scholarships, but this one in particular is it's near to my heart, because I knew Greg. And I loved working with Greg. He was the owner of the Napa store that still runs here in town. His lovely wife runs that now, Becky. Greg was an amazing individual, and in fact, if you wander around Gun Club Road a little bit, I'll challenge you, go down Gun Club, see if you can find the park that's named after Greg. It's a lovely tribute to a lovely man. So this scholarship is in his name. So the recipient of this, that's going to be your job tomorrow. You go find that park if you don't know where it's at, the Greg Buer Memorial Park here in town. He loved Woodland. He grew up in Woodland. He was a Woodland graduate, as were his sons, an amazing family. He was supportive of our kids, and he worked closely in the vocational programs. As I said, he was the owner of Napa, and his beautiful wife, Becky, continues to run that store today. And this scholarship is given in memory of him by his family. And his family makes the final decision. Not the school. This comes from the Buer family. And the winner of this is Mr. Kyle Oliver. Congratulations, Kyle. And now you have a job to do. Go out there and find that park if you haven't already. Wander into Napa, find Becky, give her a hug and social distance, do all that right, but tell her thank you in the best way that you possibly can. Next up is the Northcutt Memorial Scholarship. This is another memorial. I didn't get a chance to know this young man. He was Billy Northcutt. He was the class of 1961. It's one of the things that's amazing about some of these local scholarships, that these families continue to give and give and give over these years, 40, 50, 60 years worth of giving to the students of Woodland High School. So it's given by the Northcutt family in memory of Billy. And Billy, unfortunately, was killed in an automobile accident in his junior year in high school. So he didn't even get, I know you guys aren't happy that you're not finishing at school or having this at school, but Billy didn't even get a finish at all. This is given to the student in the top 10% of their class and have been accepted to accredited 4-year college or university, or an accredited 2-year college with definite plans to go to a 4-year university. The winner of the Northcutt Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $700 is Miss Carly Risley. Congratulations, Carly. You see her awesome picture there. Awesome recipient of that, so congratulations, Carly, on that. Up next is the Walter Hansen Memorial Scholarship. And again, gentleman that I got to know here in Woodland, an amazing individual Walter was, and this scholarship is the amount of $500. Let me give you a little background here. Scholarship is in honor of Walter Hansen Sr., who dedicated his time for many years into running the Woodland Planners Day, and he held many, many offices in the Planners Day Planning Committee. I mean, Planners Day is what it is because of Walter Hansen Sr. He is the one of the volunteers who keep track of Woodland history. He was an amazing historian. I loved listening to some of his stories, and he could spin a yarn as far back as you could go. And he was one of our historians, and he sat on many historical boards and commissions. Walter has passed away over several years ago and will be missed, as the Planter Days Committee has committed to honoring him and giving this $500 scholarship. In fact, if you've been to the Planters Day and you see the frog jumping contest, that's Walter's. That's his baby. He was big into that. He would announce it. It was awesome. So a $500 scholarship is going to be given to somebody who wants to dedicate themselves to studying history in one form or another. So the recipient of this $500 scholarship is Miss Elizabeth Patnode. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Another lovely scholarship for you. Hey, we're making good progress here, aren't we? Way to hang with me here. You guys need to stretch a little bit? Oh no, you're just sitting on your couches. I'm the one doing the work standing. So, all right, push pause, go get a drink of water. I'm going to continue talking. All right, up next, the Woodland Alumni Association. This is a scholarship in the amount of $1,000. The money that's raised from this money for this scholarship is raised from graduates as far back as 1940. That's like pre-World War II, if you didn't realize how far back that is. That's at least United States involvement in World War II. And the money is usually raised at reunions or in memory of Woodland High School graduates who have passed away. The selected student must be a parent, the selected student must have a parent, a grandparent, or other relative who is an alumni of Woodland High School and exhibit financial need. And the final selection is made by, believe it or not, an alumni committee headed by the illustrious and famous Miss April Heasley, who happened to be the very first secretary I worked with when I was at Woodland High School. And she heads that alumni committee. They make this selection. A $1,000 scholarship goes to Noah Madison. Congratulations, Noah. You're just $1,000 less in debt for college and school than you were 30 seconds ago. So congratulations to you. Okay, making good progress here. Up next, Woodland Auto Supply. And again, this is the same group, if you will, but a different scholarship that was with the Greg Buer family, but this is coming from Woodland Auto Supply, that are given a $1,000 scholarship, and it's given by the owners in that business there. Very generous local business, and they want to continue to give, and so they have their own scholarship that they give out here, and their recipient is Miss Carly Risley. $1,000 lighter debt for you now as well. So congratulations, Carly, on that from Woodland Auto Supply. So the Woodland Planters Day Princess. Yeah, they were selected their junior year, but they actually are on the court their senior year, and this is when they're going to be riding in the, or get their scholarship, if you will, the amounts. And their reign is basically going to be over here, well, about now, next week or so, when we have the new queen comes about. So anyway, these scholarships, these girls know they're getting them, so it's not a huge surprise, but nonetheless, it was an important role that they filled this year. So there's 3 scholarships here, 2 for $1,000 each, and then 1 for $2,500. You want to guess who gets the $2,500 one? Yeah, no surprise, it's the queen. So the $1,000 scholarships go to the princesses. So the 2 princesses that we had this year, the first one is Alice Baxter. Great job, Alice. Loved having you as one of our princesses this year for Woodland. Great representative. And the second one is Nayeli Lopez Cifuentes. She is our second princess, $1,000 winner. And if you did not know who the queen was this year, well, then this will be a surprise, even though we announced it like a year ago in June, believe it or not. We did. So no surprise to Jade Nosler. Congratulations, Jade. You were the queen this year. Great job as a Woodland queen. Your crown and your reign is just about over, but you got $2,500 from the Woodland Planters Day Commission for that wonderful award that you got. Okay, up next, the class of 1971. This is about the year that Mr. Uhlencott was graduating from high school, so do the math on that and you can figure out how old that dude actually is. There's one scholarship, and that's a lie. He actually didn't graduate in 1971, but he looks like he did. So, one recipient, $600. And here's what has to happen for you to get that. The scholarship comes from, first of all, contributions from members of the class of 1971. And I kid you not, this is the most active alumni class that I've had. So maybe the class of 2020 will do the same thing. These guys are around all the time. They have a bench in town. They help put up a reader board at the old school. They're an amazing group, and they still meet. They still talk about the good old times. I think they still believe that they went undefeated in football, basketball, and baseball that year. I don't think it's true, but that's what they tell me. The class members wish to pass along some financial assistance for the current graduates to assist them in their higher education needs. So, attaboy, attagirl, the class of 1971. They've been doing this for 22 years, as long as I've been here, and probably, I don't know when they started, but it's amazing that they do this. So one recipient, there is preference given to the winner here if they have somebody with direct connections to 1971. And I don't know if this student, the winner, does or not, but they have selected Miss Elizabeth Patnode as their winner, class of 1971. So congratulations, Elizabeth, and thank you very much to the class of 1971 for their scholarship. You know, we're down to just two. Just two. That's all I've got left to give away here. And then when I'm done, I will have given away over $70,000 worth of money in a very short amount of time. You're going to see the last one is a huge one. But this one I'm going to give away now. I'm going to tell you, I tell the class every time, we've given away some lovely scholarships, but this absolutely is my favorite. It's my favorite, and will forever be my favorite. It's called the Roy Stewart Memorial Scholarship. Now again, as you might be asking, who is Roy Stewart? I wouldn't expect you to know who Roy Stewart is, so let me tell you a little bit about Roy Stewart and why this is my favorite scholarship. He was a businessman in Woodland, and he was the president of the Woodland School Board for 10 years. He died in 1938. 1938. The board dedicated the new gym to him that year. And there was an awesome gym with an awesome plaque that, as you can imagine, over time and movement and different people, that plaque unfortunately has been lost. The gym no longer, it's been torn down and new schools have been built. But he was so loved by the Woodland School and the school district and the community at that time, they did that for him. So his daughter, Avis, who lived in California, started thinking about this and wanted to have a lasting memorial for her dad and his contributions to the Woodland School District. So she started this scholarship in his name, I think it was like 35 years ago. Now the scholarship has even grown a little bit, and it's two scholarship winners, $2,250 each. But this is what makes this scholarship so special. I mean, Roy was an amazing guy. I never got to know him. His daughter, Avis, also amazing, because she used to read every single one of the notes that the kids would write about who they thought should be the winner. But unfortunately, it was about 5 years ago now, Avis passed away. So now, unfortunately, the family and the collective group still sponsors this scholarship, but the notes are read here by the high school staff. And here are the notes that are being written. Kids might remember this, that we had an assembly, I don't know when it was, in February, I think it was, before COVID, and we had the kids write down who the one senior boy was and the one senior girl who were the most influential to them, most supportive, most influential during their high school years, but specifically their junior and senior years. So in essence, the kids absolutely selected this. These were the boy and the girl that, as a general class of 2020, had the greatest impact on them as a fellow classmate. I love it. Absolutely love this scholarship. And so it's amazing that I get to give away somebody else's money to two outstanding students, a boy and a girl. I know you're thinking, stop talking, Mr. Sharp, cut to the chase, just tell us who won. All right, here it is. The boy is Mr. Isaac Hall. Congratulations, Isaac, that is amazing. And to the girl, ready? Drum roll, it is Miss Kaylee Wiest. Congratulations, Kaylee. Those are two awesome individuals, and you have just gotten yourselves $2,250 less in debt for your future education. And the last and final scholarship that I have to give away comes to you from the Woodland School District itself and the Woodland High School Trust Fund. This is a trust fund that one of our former board members that really took it under his arm to kind of revitalize this, if you will. The story here is that we had a superintendent back in 1970, who started selling hot dogs, it was at the old Thriftway, and he was doing little fundraisers to raise money for this scholarship because he said, doggone it, we need to have something that comes really from the whole community right through the school district to these students. And so what happened is this trust fund generated some money, and over the years it got up to about $54,000 or so. And we would use the interest from that to give scholarships away to students. Well, several years ago, one of our board members, Mr. Steve Mattson, said, that's not good enough. We can do better. We can do way better. And he took it upon himself to start raising money, and he wanted to raise at least $50,000 a year to give away $50,000 a year to our students for furthering their education. Now, this year we came up a little short. We didn't get there, and some of that had to do with COVID. Some of that had to do with, unfortunately, Mr. Mattson left our board. But we were able to give away, count with me now, not one, not two, not three, but 17 $2,000 scholarships. 17 $2,000 scholarships. So that's a total of $34,000 that's going to be given to these students to further their education. Now, I'm going to tell you the other nice thing here is you've got staff members every month that are contributing money to this out of their paycheck, out of the goodness of their heart. They contribute to this to try to help raise this money. And if you sitting there on their couch going, you know what, that's super cool. I want to be part of that next year. I want to feel like I contributed. You contact the district office, ask for Stacy Brown. She'll hook you up with the tax-free donation form, and you too can start contributing. If you have a business, feel free to jump in and get your employees to do this if you don't want to do one on your own. It's an amazing way to support our local Woodland students. And 17 students are going to get this scholarship tonight. So bear with me as I read their names. And then at the very end of all this, we're going to stand up, stretch, and do an amazing applause for all these amazing students that won these scholarships. So let's meet our winners. The 17 recipients are in no particular order. First of all, Miss Kaylee Autry. Congratulations, Kaylee. Up next, Gwyneth Elkington. Congratulations, Gwyneth. I know you go by Gwen. Sorry about that. I'll fix that when I talk about you in the senior recognition part. Up next, Miss Nicole Guthrie. If you're counting along, that's 3. Next recipient is Mr. Isaac Hall. And again, each of these students are getting $2,000. Next up, Jaden Harrington. Congratulations, Jaden. You are winner number 5. And number 6, Michaela Henderson. Congratulations, Michaela, $2,000 for you. I think I'm on number 7 here. I'm going to look at my support crew to help keep numbers with me. Trace Logan, number 7. Congratulations, Trace. $2,000 from the Woodland High School Trust Fund for you. Up next, Noah Madison. Congratulations, Noah. $2,000 for you. And up next, number 9, Kyle Oliver, our 9th winner of this $2,000 scholarship. I'm on 10 now, double digits. Miss Kaya Olson. Congratulations, Kaya. $2,000 for you from the Woodland High School Trust Fund. Elizabeth Patnode. We've heard that name a couple times. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Another $2,000 scholarship for you. And next, Mara Reese. Congratulations, Mara. $2,000 for you. I believe on number 12 now. The 13th winner is Miss Carly Risley. Carly Risley. Congratulations, Carly, to you. Next up, Aaron Shaw. Congratulations, Aaron. $2,000 Woodland High School Trust Fund scholarship for you. And our 15th winner, Miss Dalen Seipel. Well done, Dalen. $2,000 for you, which leaves not 1, but 2 scholarships left. You're sitting there, edge of your seat. Oh, come on, you're gonna get it, come on. Did they apply? I don't know. Ask them. I only have 2 scholarships left to give away. Now I'm down to 1 because the 16th winner is Mr. Ole Warndall. Congratulations, Ole, on the Woodland High School Trust Fund scholarship winner. And your final winner is Miss Kaylee Wiest. Congratulations, Kaylee. the 17th, and final again. I think they ended up being in alphabetical order is what we ended up doing. But congratulations to all of our students who won that scholarship, plus all the ones I just gave away. So now what I'd like you to do is join me, seriously, even though they can't see it or hear it, they will in your house. Let's give a big applause. Whoop, 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 whoop. For all of our winners. So proud of you guys. I really am. I'm so proud of you. So hopefully you took a little moment to congratulate them, even though they may not have been in your living room. But if they were in your living room, by golly, start asking for loans, start asking for help, or by golly, you get them out and cut the grass so they feel like they've earned that money a little bit more. Up next is I'm going to talk about each of the students. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to comb my hair, brush my teeth, take a little drink of water. I'll be right back with you as we talk about each of the seniors and everything we have to share about that moment's coming up next. Thanks again, and be right back. All right, well, welcome back. Hopefully you had a good intermission, or not. You just sat there and this flowed through. But I ate some pizza, took a little break, and I'm back for part 2 for you here. And this is where we talk about the class of 2020. You know, the funny little story here is when I first came here 22 years as the principal, I heard we did this at Woodland, and I thought it was nuts. I came from a high school of over 400 graduating seniors every year, and I just couldn't believe that that's what we did in Woodland. But after going through it for the first year, I demanded that we stay with this. So here we are, doing it 22 years later, where we get to talk about each one of these seniors and the contributions that they've had to our community, to our school, by being who they are. They've earned this moment. So we're going to talk about each and every one of them. But before I get there, I got to give you a few little instructional pieces, because this is not just sit and watch. You're going to go, oh my gosh, 143 kids, are you kidding me? I'm not kidding. We're going to do it, and you got to stay with me. You got to stay interactive and pay attention. And if you don't, whoever's next to you on the couch, elbow them, say, do better next time. A couple of things. As I talk about each student, you're going to see their picture, you're going to see their name on the slide, and you're going to see some stuff about them. A couple of things I'll just reference right now and about how it's going to flow. If you hear that they won a department award, like math department award or English department award, that was voted on by the staff of that department. Makes sense? And they've decided that that's who the department award winner was. There could have been a maximum of 3 kids in a department, so could have 3 English, 3 math, etc. Clubs. You're going to hear me mention some clubs. I'll give you an example. FCA. The first time I see that, as long as I'm on my game, I'm going to say FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I'll only kind of explain the acronyms the first time, and after that it's on you to hopefully remember or go back and rewind, play it again, so hopefully you'll have it, kind of remember what it was. So the first time I see a club, I'll highlight what it is, and then from then on I'll just read over it. You're going to hear me talk about Woodland Academic Scholars, and this is a very prestigious award that very few of our seniors are actually earn the right to have. And if you hear me say Woodland Academic Scholar, this is what that means. They had to have 4 credits of English, 4 credits of college preparatory math, including pre-calculus. They had to have 4 credits of college preparatory science, including chemistry, AP biology, physics, or AP chem. At least 4 credits, and including 1 from what I just rattled off. They have to have 2 credits of the same language, American Sign Language, French, or Spanish. 3 credits of social studies. They had to complete all additional graduation requirements, and if that's not enough, they had to have at least 7 credits of honors or advanced placement courses. Not 1, not 2, 7. And then they had to maintain a GPA of 3.5 or higher. It's a very prestigious award, so congratulations to our academic scholars. So when you hear me say that, don't take that one lightly. The other one I want to mention is we have, I think 3 students got our Super Student Award, only 3. And to be a super student, each of those letters stands for something. The S means that they had to have some verified community service. Pretty much all of our seniors are doing that now as part of their graduation requirements. But S is for service. U is for ultra good grades. You had to have a 3.0 or better. The P is positive attendance. So hear this. Now again, we didn't count your attendance from March 13th on, but up until then, you had to have met this standard, which knocked a whole bunch of you out nonetheless. You could only have no more than 3 full days missed for any reason other than something that was school related, or no more than total of 19 class periods missed. So again, we didn't count your attendance after March 13th, but that's still, even before that, got a bunch of you. E is the extracurricular activities. So you had to be involved in some level of sport, a club, a drama, music, something beyond just being a student here at Woodland High School. And finally, this got a whole bunch of you too, unfortunately, and that was the R, which was referrals. You could have absolutely 0 attendance, behavior, or tardy referrals this entire year. So if you hear me mention super student, those students met all of that criteria. Now before we get started, a couple of things I need you to make sure you know and understand. First of all, parents, the information I'm going to read is the best that we were able to put together based on what your students provided to us. We sent out senior profiles, we've called, we've talked, we've cajoled, we've done our best to cull information. So what I'm sharing with you is a compilation from all kinds of sources. But if you're going, well, why didn't he say this or that? You got to elbow your son or daughter, because they probably didn't tell us and we probably didn't know, because if we did, we would have included it. The second thing you need to know is I'm going to say a lot of words. I got to say names, I'm going to talk about clubs, I'm going to talk about all kinds of this stuff. And I'm going to fumble, I'm going to make some mistakes, and it's just going to be real, it's going to be authentic. So students, if I mispronounce your name, my apologies on the front end. I don't mean to do that. I know name pronunciations are important, but sometimes when I'm saying like a lot of words, I'm going to get tongue-tied, so I apologize on the front end if I say your name wrong. And finally, I told you, you had to be interactive. This is what we're going to try to do. Well, not try to do. We're going to do it. When a name comes up, you'll see the first name that's going to come up, and I'll say their first name, I'll read about them, and I'll talk about them, and at the very end, I'm going to say that's, and then their name, and after their name's over, I want you to snap your finger. Remember in the first part I told you you had to practice snapping your finger? I wasn't kidding. So that'll keep you paying attention. You're going to snap the finger on my cue. Now, in order to do this, we got to practice, and I'm going to do a quick little practice here. You won't see any kind of a slide other than the class of 2020, and it would be silly of me not to do this being my very final senior recognition night here for Woodland High School, and I've been doing this example for 20 years because he's been my buddy and my partner side by side for this night. You can't see him here, but trust me, he's here, like he's right there. That's Mr. Uhlencott, and I use him as my example. And normally he has to stand up and we all have a good laugh out of this, and he always plays along well, but just imagine him here as I do this. And at the very end, trust me, I'm gonna say this, and that's Mr. Uhlencott, and you're gonna snap your finger. That's all the training you're gonna get. Now if you can't figure it out, go back, hit replay, try it again till you get it. You can do it. If you can't, you're just not there yet. Okay, so this is what we do. I'd say, no, back up. I won't say that, so I'll have them stand up first. But you're not gonna stand up in your living room, unless you want to. So the slide would come up and it'd be Mr. Uhlencott, and I'd say, Dan, it's his first name, Dan. He's 6'6". He's a really cool guy. He wears really short hair. He's been my best friend at work for 20 years. He laughs at my jokes. He does what I tell him to do. He brings me food. He lets me eat candy in his office. He's been a loyal, faithful friend. I'm gonna miss him dearly. That's Mr. Uhlencott. See how that works? That's how that works. So you stay with the snap. This will make this go a little bit quicker, a little bit more fun. And again, if you mess up, you're gonna get elbowed by whoever's sitting next to you on the couch. So let's see how this works. Let's give it a try. You're gonna see the first picture up, and you're gonna stay with me, ready for the snap. You're on mine. So Soren enjoys reading. He was in wrestling, track and field, and creative chef. Soren plans to join a branch of the military or enroll in a trade apprenticeship program. We're proud of Soren, and congratulations to you. That's Soren Ackerley. Joran, look at that beard. Isn't that fierce? I love Joran's fierce beard there. He attended Cascadia Tech Academy and the diesel mechanics program, and one of the things that he wanted to make sure everybody knew is that he thoroughly enjoyed Mr. Miller's auto mechanics class, and we loved it that he did because that was one of the classes he attended regularly. So, congratulations, that's Joran Albert. Gage. So Gage was one of our Running Start students. So if you don't know Running Starts, that's where they're doing the dual credit, going off to community college, taking classes there while earning high school credit as well. He played guitar in jazz band, jazz choir, and he was one of our leadership students. He was in pep band events quite often as a volunteer as well. That's Gage Andrews. Jaden. Now Jaden attended Cascadia Tech. Again, these kids, I should mention this, at Cascadia Tech, they had to get up super early, caught the bus at 7 in the morning, drive into Vancouver every day. They took 3 straight hours of classes there, and so when you hear me say Cascadia Tech, these are our kids that did some amazing work in the trade programs there. So he was at Cascadia Tech studying pre-engineering design and their tech program. He was in our leadership class. He enjoyed Mr. Greenleaf's strength and conditioning class and Mr. Nesbitt's biology class. After high school, he plans to join an electrical apprenticeship program after he graduates. That's Jaden Armstrong. How's that snapping going? You keeping up with me? You get it? Okay. Kaylee. Kaylee was one of our academic scholars. Remember I talked about that amazing set of standards you had to make? Here's one of them right here. Kaylee, academic scholar. She's in Running Start, and she's also been Student of the Month. First time you've heard me say that, Student of the Month, that's voted on by our staff each month of the year. Well, of course, except during summer or during COVID. She was in soccer, cross country, and track and field. She also participated in the Woodland Community Action Center as a volunteer in several community service projects through and with her church. She plans to attend a 4-year university after graduation and serve a full-time mission when she is 19. That's Kaylee Autry. Isabella Avendano. Sorry, Isabella. Oh, I was only supposed to do the first name anyways, right? Do that again. Isabella. There we go. Super student. Remember I said there was 3 of them? There's one right there, Isabella. She was involved in concert choir, Knowledge Bowl. She was on the Knowledge Bowl JV team captain when I think that was her junior year. She enjoyed Mrs. Condit's AP US History class. She was involved in Make a Difference Day. That's a Woodland event. Hopefully most of you know that. And the Shop with a Cop volunteer. Isabella plans to attend Clark College and pursue a career in nursing. That's Isabella Avendano. See, you're getting the snapping down, I can tell. That's Jose behind me, or to the side. I don't know where we put it on the screen, but that's Jose. What a smile. Look at that smile. Fierce hair, too, huh? Jose was involved in soccer. He was in FBLA. First time you're hearing about that one. That's Future Business Leaders of America. So it's a business club that's run by our marketing teacher, Mrs. Ruff. He's also a member of our leadership program. He was in Make a Difference Day and Shop with a Cop volunteer, and he plans on attending a trade school after graduation. That's Jose Baca Diaz. Alice Baxter, yes, the princess from Woodland this year. She was in leadership. She was a leadership student. She was in publishing. She was a volunteer at youth football. She was in basketball, baseball, and wrestling volunteer. So she volunteered a lot of her time there. One of her favorite classes was Mr. Van Cleef's math class. And of course, he had a fun class, always told a lot of fun jokes. Alice plans to work after graduation before attending college. That's Alice Baxter. Chelsea Beardsley. Whoops, I'm supposed to just say the first names. I'll get the Chelsea. Chelsea's been Student of the Month. She played soccer, basketball, and track and field. She attended Cascadia Tech Academy in their fire science program. Congratulations, Chelsea, and best wishes to you. That's Chelsea Beardsley. Kayla Beardsley. Kayla, boy, I keep saying the last names. Maybe I'm just going to stay with that. We'll see what happens. We'll just roll with it. Kayla enjoyed Mr. Smith's art class. She was a very creative writer, according to Miss Gordon, who gave us some feedback on her amazing writing talents. And again, she was a Cascadia Tech Academy student studying in their dental program. That's Kayla Beardsley. Nasser. Nasser is one of our leadership students as well. He enjoyed being in Mrs. Holmes' TA and being a TA in Miss Mrs. Hillman's class, and that's one of our special classrooms, and Nasser was amazing in there. And he's going to be one. Mr. Uhlenkott wanted me to tell you this, Nasser. He's going to miss all the fun conversations that you've had in his office over the years. He's definitely going to miss those. So he plans to work on after graduation and then pursue a career in the trades. That's Nasser Belayan. Esther, I wanted to say Esther Bennett. I'll get this. Esther was Student of the Month, not once, but twice, so 2 different times. And again, you can only win it once in a year, so over 2 years she's gotten that. She also attended Cascadia Tech, studying in their criminal justice program. She was in beginning drawing, floral design, and medical science were a couple of her classes that she really excelled in here. Congratulations, Esther. We are proud of you. That's Esther Bennett. Robert. Look at Robert there. Good-looking gentleman there. He was involved in cross-country, track and field, Beaver Crew volunteer. This was one of these amazing events that the Beaver Crew were our upperclassmen worked with our incoming freshmen to help guide them around school and help them in the transition to being a Woodland High School Beaver. He enjoyed Mr. Miller's automotive class, metal shop, and being his TA. He also attended Cascadia Tech Academy in their automotive program. So congratulations. That is Robert Berg. Jennifer. Jennifer was one of our academic scholars. Again, I talked about that at the very beginning. She also was one of our running start students, so she was able to maintain that high GPA while taking classes at, I think she was at Clark. She took honors classes while she was here at Woodland High School and was a choir member. Congratulations to Jennifer. That's Jennifer Boulette. Aiden. So Aiden, another one of our running start students. FBLA, that's the Future Business Leaders of America. He was in the Woodland Community Action Center volunteer, and he also enjoyed math with Mr. Lindsay. He plans to attend Western Washington University, go Vikings, after graduation this year. That's Aiden Burns. Jennifer. So Jennifer was Student of the Month 2 different times. She's also a leadership student. She was a TA in the counseling department, and they loved having her in there. She enjoys playing soccer with her friends and spending time with her family. Jennifer plans on attending Clark College after she graduates. That's Jennifer Canano Lorenzo. Messed you up there with a little hyphen name, right? You gotta stay with me, right? Don't mess up. Those hyphenated names will get us every time. Haley. Haley's up next. Haley attended Cascadia Tech as well. It seems like our whole school went there, didn't it? But they didn't. But a lot of our awesome seniors did. She was in their dental program. She was a volunteer for our wrestling club and also was one of those fearless people that sold fireworks at the Little League fireworks stand. She enjoyed Miss Cooper's ceramics and drawing class, and Miss Cooper was a new art teacher for us this year, and Haley and her really connected, and that was a great class for her. She plans to attend Clark College and pursue her associate's degree after graduation. That's Haley Cargile. Kaylee, or otherwise known from her family as Cub. Kaylee is one of our academic scholars, and again, I think there was 11 of you. I think I've rattled off 3 now. Just an amazing achievement. So congratulations, Kaylee. She also had a GPA of 3.5 or higher and was one of those 2A GSHL, which is our athletic league, Greater St. Helens League athlete or athletic scholar. She's been a running start student, fast pitch basketball team captain for fast pitch, youth basketball, and youth fast pitch assistant coach. Amazing baseball player, was part of the team that won 2 straight state championships, and actually are still the defending state champions because there was no state championship this year. So technically we've got it 3 years in a row, right? Because, well, okay, I'll let that go. And then she was involved in youth basketball and fast pitch camps, volunteered at the 4th of July cleanup at Fort Vancouver. Kaylee plans to attend College of Idaho to play fast pitch and study business administration. That's Kaylee Christensen. Allie. Allie was in soccer, she was in basketball, she was in cheer, track and field, she was in team captain for soccer her sophomore year. She also was in yearbook and the publishing program. She volunteered her time with Make a Difference Day and wrestling tournament volunteer. And I'm going to say this to you right now too, Allie, I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of the growth that you've had, and it's been amazing to watch you become into this delightful young lady and young woman that you are. So a little personal thing for Mr. Schaup to you. I wanted you to know that. Super proud of you. Allie plans to attend Clark College and pursue paramedic studies. That's Allie Cressup. Ben, Big Ben. Ben was in football. He was a leadership student. He was one of our great shop students who will excel, according to Mr. Miller. And I have no reason to doubt Mr. Miller's statement there. He enjoyed Mr. Miller's automotive class, and he also attended Cascadia Tech Academy in the criminal justice program. Ben plans to go to school, to become an electrician after he graduates. That's Ben Cressup. Emily. Emily was in floral design. It's one of our awesome programs that Miss Pierce runs. She was an early childhood mentor, a class that Mrs. Miller teaches. She was a TA for Mrs. Klaus and Miss Bullock. She enjoyed Coach Woody, that's our football coach, Coach Woody there, his leadership class. She's an amazing young lady with a bright, bright future. That's Emily Cruz Lopez. Aaliyah. Aaliyah attended Cascadia Tech Academy studying cosmetology. She was also in concert choir and a TA for Mr. Leobratten's class. He was our is our choir instructor. And she is an absolutely good friend to her peers, according to Miss Gordon, our English teacher. And she plans to pursue a career in cosmetology after graduation. That's Aaliyah Cushman. Zayden. Now Zayden, he's one of our, I think, only 2 seniors that we did not get a picture from. So Mom and Dad, if you're seeing this, or Zayden, you're seeing this, goes, where's my picture? Well, you didn't give it to us. We couldn't find one. We tried. So Zayden, you're faceless on here, but you're just forever in my mind. I can see your smile, walking around with your baseball hat and your baseball jacket. I got you pictured, Zayden, but nobody else can, unfortunately. So Zayden was in baseball. He attended Cascadia Tech Academy in the automotive program, and he enjoys dirt bike riding and racing cars at PIR. For those of you who know, that's Portland International Raceway. He plans to attend Mount Hood Community College, enrolling in the automotive technology program. So congratulations, Zayden, but again, no picture. That's Zayden Dar. Jillian, another Running Start student, graduating from Woodland High School with an AA degree. So if you don't know what that means, that is really hard to do. She's getting her associate's degree, so basically 2 full years of college done. She'll enter next year as a junior and also got all of her high school credits done. Very challenging to do, and congratulations to you, Julianne. But she got that she got it from Lower Columbia College, LCC. She's also been a student of the month, a Girl Scout at Evergreen Day Camp, and she truly enjoyed Mrs. Warrendahl's honors biology class. She plans to go to Washington State University, go Cougs, to pursue a major in biology with a minor in chemistry. That's Jillian Dawes. How's your clapping coming? That's right, snapping your fingers. Hopefully you're keeping up with me, doing okay. We're all the way to the D's. We got a ways to go, bear with us here. Deep breath, we can do it. Sadie. Sadie also attended Cascadia Tech Academy in the dental program. She enjoyed Mr. Miller's metal shop and welding classes. She enjoys hiking, swimming, and crafting. After graduation, she plans to save money and travel. Both sound awesome. Good luck with that. That's Sadie Dawson. Lily. Are we done yet? Okay, sorry, Lily. Had to do it. Lily. Fine Arts Department Award. So here's one of those department awards that I mentioned. So she's being selected from the Fine Arts Department. She's been a Student of the Month and WHS. Do you know what WHS is? Of course you don't, unless you're in that club. That is basically our equestrian club. These are the folks that ride those horses, compete on horses, an amazing group. That's the WHS. She's been in concert choir as well. Community service work with the elderly and caring for her horses, feeding, cleaning, and exercising team. And her absolute favorite thing to do is that barrel racing that they do there with WHS. She plans to attend beauty school after graduation and see if she can do something with Mr. Schaup's hair to fix that. That's Lily Dunn. Michael. Michael's another one of our Running Start students. He was in track and field, and then you're seeing on the screen there, HOSA. You're wondering, what's HOSA? Well, that's Health Occupation Student Advisory or something like that. It's a medical club that competes across the state, across the country, and it's an amazing group of students that have medicine and biology and anatomy, and they run our blood drives every year. It's a great group that Mrs. Warrendall heads up, and he was one of the members of their club. And he also enjoys studying Japanese. Michael plans to finish his undergraduate degree at Portland State University and become a doctor. Super awesome. That's Michael Dunn. Speaking of becoming a doctor, I just heard from a student. We had 2 former graduates that became doctors this year. I won't mention their names, but I love hearing back those stories. One from graduated in 2009, the other one graduated in 2006, and I heard back from both of them, doctors. So you know what, Michael's well on his way. He's got the background and the foundation to do that. You want to be a doctor, you go get it, because Woodland High School students can do what they've been trained to do, and if it's a doctor, you go get it. Maria. Now Maria, you're going to see here is in the top 5% of the class. We made that in red. Those are students who have academically performed at a high level, and instead of just valedictorian, salutatorian, say that right? Salutatorian, thank you, salutatorian. I knew I'd get there. Mr. Uhlencott helped me. We do top 5%, so you basically take the number of graduates, divide by or multiply by 5, and that's how many kids get top 5%. Maria is one of those, so congratulations, Maria. National Honor Society, she's been in the Junior Masonic Achievement Award. That's an award for our top 5 girls and top 5 boys their junior year. She's been the Student of the Month, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Amazing. She's very active and great in creative chef class. She enjoys hiking, traveling, and reading. And she was in the Shop with a Cop and Beaver Crew volunteer. I've mentioned the Beaver Crew. The Shop with a Cop, it's our Woodland Police Department. They shop for needy students every Christmas, and they wrap presents. It's a really cool program. She plans to help run a family business after she graduates. That's Maria Eck. Gwen. See, Gwen, I told you I'd get that name fixed for you. Well, at least the first name I've got down. So bear with me here, Gwen. She's another one of our Running Start students. She's been involved in soccer and in fast pitch. She enjoys both of those greatly, as well as hiking. The Kids World Preschool Summer Camp volunteer. God bless you. We love our volunteers that work with our youngsters and have the energy and patience to do that on a regular basis, and Gwen is one of those. She plans to attend Clark College while playing soccer and fast pitch, and she's going to pursue a career in nursing. Love it. That's Gwen Elkington. Isaiah. Now Isaiah is another one of our Running Start students, and again, when I say Running Start students, that means we don't get it. They run away from us, and we see them. They spend a lot of their time on community college campus. But he's a fabulous student that we also saw in the athletic field. And all of our Running Start kids were here our freshman and sophomore year, unless they weren't. That means they transferred in or from somewhere else. But Isaiah, I'll get back to Isaiah here. He was one of our Running Start students. He was in basketball, football. He was the basketball team captain. And by golly, there it is, FCA. Remember I mentioned FCA? Fellowship of Christian Athletes. That's the club that he was very active in. He's part of Make a Difference Day, our Back to School Bash, which was an amazing event coordinated by our local churches. And I know the Promise Church was big into that, and some of the others where they gave backpacks and all kinds of supplies and materials to our needy students, not just Woodland High School students, but students across the district. Cool event. He's volunteered at the Woodland Action Center and the Snowflake Bazaar volunteer as well. He plans to finish his associate's degree at Clark College and then start working in construction. That's Isaiah Flanagan. JD was one of our leadership students in Creative Chef. He enjoyed strength and conditioning, web design. He's one of our tech guys who was great in that, and beginning drawing. And as Miss Gordon said, and I totally agree with this, just a very humble student and a good friend to so many others. Awesome young men. That's J.D. Fosmark. Peyton. Keep my notes up here. There we are. Peyton. Peyton was another one of our Running Start students, and she also was selected as a Student of the Month this year. She's been in volleyball, basketball, fast pitch. Again, the fast pitch team, state champion 2+ years in a row. Team captain for volleyball and basketball. Was in Creative Chef, our W Club. First time you're hearing that. That's like the old Letterman's Club. That's our athletic club for our students who are into athletics and have lettered, and they help support athletics, surprisingly. In fact, she was the president of that club. She was in youth volleyball, basketball, fast pitch assistant coach, and volunteered at Legacy Salmon Creek Hospital. Her plans are to attend South Puget Sound Community College and play basketball while pursuing a nursing degree. Super awesome. That's Peyton Foster. Maddie. We miss Maddie. Maddie, well, I'll tell you about Maddie here in a second. So she was one of our foreign exchange students that we had this year. We had 7 of them, and I'm always so proud of these kids that are willing to do this. First day of school, I embarrass them. I put them out in front of the whole student body. We give them a pencil, a t-shirt, welcome to Woodland High School, and say, welcome to America. And these kids travel across the world, really, to come to Woodland to experience American culture. And unfortunately, our exchange students, because of COVID and the Corona thing and all that, had to go home early. And it was just so sad that they didn't get the full year. But we want to make sure we recognize them here. So Maddie's up, foreign exchange student from Italy. She played volleyball this year. She was a Girl Scout in Italy. And then, believe it or not, she's fluent in Italian and in English. She has participated in multiple study abroad programs, traveled all of Europe, and plans to study fashion and design. And I'm going to tell you, just a delightful young lady. And we were so blessed to have her at school this year, even though it got cut short. That's Maddie Franco. Who's up next? Faith. Faith, another amazing young lady who was in soccer, cheer, track and field. She was in Beaver Camp. We talked about the Beaver Camp. That's that transition for kids that want to come up to the high school from 8th grade. And then she was a junior cheer camp volunteer. And again, if you want to giggle, you want to laugh, come watch cheer camp. That is hilarious to watch just these hordes of young boys and girls, mostly girls, but would just try out this cheer thing. And actually is almost more fun is to watch the parents agonize and groan and moan as they're trying to watch their sons or their daughters in particular trying to master a move. You want to giggle? Come watch junior cheer camp next year. Faith was one of the volunteers there. She was an amazing TA in our high school office. She had to sit right across the office or the desk from me, if you will, every day. Poor girl. Laugh at my jokes. Thank you, Faith, for that. She enjoyed Mr. Hanley's class, and she plans to attend Western Washington University, go Vikings, in order to major in history. That's Faith first. Cedric, another one of our Running Start students. He speaks French and Japanese and English. He's got all 3 of those. Now, we didn't put English on there, that was just assumed. He was very good in our Creative Chef program, and he plans to attend Western Washington University as well to major in electrical engineering. That's Cedric Cabalas. Michelle, another Running Start student. Silver Level Community Service Award. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. So we have gold, silver, and bronze award levels for kids that volunteer their time. And Michelle had to get at least 35 hours in to get this silver award. So she probably already has it. We gave it on cap and gown distribution day, I think, but very active in volunteering her time. She was a track and field manager, HOSA, choir, and Creative Chef program she was in. Make a Difference Day, Woodland Action Center, and Shop with a Cop. You've heard about those before, so she was into all kinds of stuff. Outstanding. She plans to attend college at Clark and pursue nursing degree. That's our 3rd nurse that I remember, at least off the top of my head here in the last little bit. That's Michelle Garcia. Nicholas. Look at that smile on Nicholas. I tell you, that is one happy guy. Nicholas was probably the student this year, I can say this without fault, that asked Mr. Uhlencott and I more times than anybody else how they could help. He wanted to help. I loved it. He was new to us this year, and he leaned in like nobody I'd ever seen. And so he was always looking for projects, always looking for ways to help. And I love that about Nicholas. He was in leadership, he was in choir, he was in the Job Corps volunteer, and then he enjoys woodworking projects. And then he plans to continue his education in the Woodland School District. You know what, Nicholas? If I was still here, I would find a way to hire you. I kid you not. You're an amazing young man, and you're going to do well. That's Nicholas Gonzalez. Colton. Colton was Student of the Month. He's been in football, track and field, creative chef, and a leadership student. He was in youth football camps and a triathlon volunteer. If you don't know what a triathlon is, that's somebody that's crazy. Crazy. They ride a bike forever, they swim forever, and they run forever. Way to go, Colton. God bless you. That's not me, that's you. I love it. Colton is considering a career in the Air Force, and he will excel and do well, follow his brother into the military. Proud of you, Colton. That's Colton Graham. Eric. Look at that cool picture. I think that's the Lewis River there in the background. He's a Running Start student, track and field, jazz choir. First time you're seeing this, GSA. That is a club we have at school that is called Gay Straight Alliance. And those are for our kids that are really trying to find a way to share tolerance as far as instead of separation. And that's what that group is focused on. He volunteers with several service projects at church, and he helps out, as you can see there, in the community. He plans to earn his associate's degree in music at Clark College and then join the Army to pursue radiology. That's Eric Goodmanson. Nicole. Nicole's up next. So I just mentioned that. She's involved in that GSA club. She is involved in Make a Difference Day and the Woodland High School plant sale volunteer. And by golly, if you didn't do the plant sale this year, you missed out. Unbelievable that we were able to do that. And I know Nicole helped in the background to still do the plant sale kind of virtually. And people drove by. So those of you that bought stuff, awesome. And Nicole was one of our folks that helped over the years in the plant sale. So thank you, Nicole. And then she also enjoyed Miss Cooper's ceramics class. Nicole plans to work while attending college starting next year. That's Nicole Gerling. Savannah. So Savannah was Student of the Month not once, but twice. She's been in cheer. In fact, she was a cheer team captain, track and field manager, Woodland Community Action Center, and Beaver Camp volunteer. Savannah plans to attend Clark College, then transfer to Oregon Institute of Technology to study ultrasound because she wants to be an ultrasound radiologist. That's Savannah Guillen. Nicole. Nicole here is, again, top 5% of the class, so congratulations for your outstanding academic performance, Nicole. She's been in National Honor Society. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but those students can not achieve that until their sophomore year. They have to have certain academic standings, be involved in so many clubs and activities, volunteer their hours. Again, pretty stringent to do that. She's one of the Honor Society members. She earned English, math, and social studies department awards. To say this gal is academically gifted may not be the right word. She tries hard. She's a brilliant young lady, and she's got 3 different department awards here. She got the Junior Masonic Award representative, and she's been the Student of the Month not once, not twice, but 3 different times. If that's not enough academically, she was involved in track and field, volleyball, basketball, and was a team captain for all 3 sports. She's helped out the Woodland Action Center with the Shop O'Clock, youth basketball referee volunteer, girls basketball, and volleyball camp assistant coach. Simply amazing resume that she built in high school here. She plans to attend University of Idaho and high jump for their track team while pursuing a major in civil engineering. Absolutely outstanding. That's Nicole Guthrie. Melina was a Running Start student. She's been the Student of the Month. There's one of those Super Student Award winners. I think, again, we only had 3 of those. She was involved in fast pitch, jazz choir, and creative chef. Melina plans to attend Washington State University next year. Go Cougs. Super proud of Melina. Ready for your snap? That's Melina Gutridge. Edouard. What can I tell you about Edouard? Well, you see the notes back there, but what you don't see is Edouard was probably the student that had to run to class the most often because he was tardy, probably almost more than anybody else the senior year. Well, that's not true. Freshman, sophomore, and junior year for sure. He got way better his senior year, but he still was seen running to class, specifically Miss Fliss's, often. So Edouard, just had to share that with the world to know. Now, he also has been a student of the month. He's been involved in football, soccer, basketball, and track and field. He enjoys playing soccer and guitar, and he was a volunteer at our Woodland Community Action Center. And after graduation, he plans to go to work. Edouard, make sure you're on time. All right, they won't tolerate that at all. Be on time when you work next year. All right, that's Edouard Guzman Cruz. Karen. Karen was one of our foreign exchange students. I'm just looking at my notes here, make sure I got this right. Karen was one of our foreign exchange students I talked about. Came all the way to us from Denmark. She was involved in track and field, and although it was only for a short period of time, she was out there. She took floral design, marketing, United States history, marine science, algebra 2, and senior English at at Woodland High School. And again, I hope you're watching from Denmark right now, Karen, because we just miss you, and we're so proud that you came to us this year. And she, of course, is fluent in Danish and in English. Congratulations to you, Karen, and that's Karen Gleikendahl. Isaac. That is Isaac. Isaac, Junior Masonic Achievement Award winner. He's been a student of the month, not once, but twice. He also was selected as the student of the year. And so you can't be student of the year unless you were student of the month. And it's only the student of the month that get voted on. So he won that award, I think, his junior year. I may be wrong, but I think it was his junior year. He's been our ASB president this year. He was the senior class treasurer. He sings the national anthem at our open assembly. He starts our school day every day with the morning announcement. Very talented young man. He was in football, basketball, track and field, jazz band, jazz choir, beaver band, concert band, and percussion ensemble. He was a Make a Difference Day volunteer, church events volunteer, youth football camp volunteer, and youth basketball assistant coach. Isaac plans to attend the University of Idaho next year. I think that's our third student that's heading that direction. That's Isaac Hall. Hunter. Hunter was a volunteer with community projects at his church. He enjoyed his pre-engineering class at Cascadia Tech Academy, and he plans to work in farming after graduation and start his own business. Love it, an entrepreneur there for us. That's Hunter Hammonds. Vanessa. Vanessa was a choir member, she was in drama club, and she volunteered for MAD, that's Mothers Against Drunk Driving. She enjoyed Miss Novak's ASL class. If you don't know what ASL is, that's our sign language class. That was horrible, Miss Novak, what I just did, but I made an effort. I know that's like good. Vanessa plans to attend Portland Community College next year. That's Vanessa Hansen. Trey. Trey Hansen's up next. Trey, another one of our top 5%. And again, maybe I know I've mentioned this a little bit. We had this really cool assembly plan for these guys, the top 5 assembly. It was all set. Anyway, we're sorry you guys didn't get to experience that. But I want to make sure you know we're proud of you, all of our top 5% students here. He was one of our academic scholars, member of the National Honor Society. He also is that GSHL Academic Scholar recipient for his 3.5 or better during the athletic season. Junior Masonic Achievement winner, and he's been a student of the month twice. He was our ASB Vice President this year and class Vice President both his senior and junior years. He's involved in basketball, he was their captain, he was the W Club Vice President, and the Me to We Club. That's another service organization that we have here at school. He was in youth basketball camps, reffing, he did the Shop a Cop, We Scare Hunger, that's a volunteer organization trying to raise, it's a food drive, there we go. It's a food drive is what they're up after there. Make a Difference Day, Snowflake Bazaar, and Beaver Crew Camp. And he plans to attend a 4-year college after he graduates. That's Trey Hansen. Jaden. Jaden was one of our academic scholars. Again, I think there's 10 or 11 of you. Absolutely amazing for these kids to get that award. She was one of our athletic scholars with athletics, 3.5 or higher during the athletic season. She gets the physics department award. She was one of our running start students. She was a cheer captain and in track and field. She volunteered at the Woodland Community Action Center. She did the Shop a Cop event. She did cheer clinics and Lucky Triathlon volunteer. She also enjoyed Mrs. Condit's AP government class very much, and who wouldn't enjoy that class? Super fun. Jaden plans to attend Washington State University, go Cougs, to pursue a degree in elementary education. Love it. Teacher on the way. Keep them coming. Go Jaden. That's Jaden Harrington. Michaela. Michaela is winning the Language Department Award. She also got the drama club, was involved in drama club, concert choir, publishing, yearbook, autism, let's see, I gotta get my notes right. Autism empowerment, Little League Snack Shack, and Beaver Camp volunteer. And she very much enjoyed Mrs. Pierce's floral design class. Michaela plans to attend Clark College to study digital arts. That's Michaela Henderson. Bradley. There's Bradley, good-looking young man there. He attended Cascadia Tech Academy and was in their diesel mechanics program. He enjoyed all of his mechanics and diesel classes, and especially with Mr. Miller throughout high school. Congratulations, Bradley. We truly are proud of you. That's Bradley Hernandez. Kate. Kate, another one of our top 5% of the class of 2020. She's also one of our academic scholars. She got the Fine Arts, English, and Physical Education Department Awards. So again, 3 awards. Absolutely phenomenal, Kate. She volunteered with the Shop a Cop program, Autism Empowerment, and the Snowflake Bazaar volunteer. She plans to attend Washington State University in Vancouver next year. That's Kate Hernandez. Anthony. Look at that smile. Isn't that a great smile on him? Love it. Anthony was involved in basketball, track and field, Skills USA. That's the first time I think you're hearing me mention that. That is our group that competes in usually culinary arts or early childhood, but Mrs. Miller is the, I want to say chairman. Thank you, Mr. Eulen, the advisor for that program, and they compete locally and then can all go all the way to national. So he was in that program and then was in FBLA. He was a volunteer with food distribution in the community as well. And Anthony plans to work after graduation. That's Anthony Herrera. Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn wasn't here this semester to miss all this fun because she actually was a semester graduate. She actually finished and was going to walk with us in the spring. Hopefully, we're still going to do that. I'll talk about that at the very end of this presentation about graduation. But she graduated, actually finished all her classes this semester. She enjoyed beginning drawing, floral design, and percussion classes at Woodland High School. She plans to continue her education in Woodland School District. That's Brooklyn Hicks. Donovan. Donovan, another one of those gentlemen that got outstanding grades during the athletic season that was recognized here as a GSHL athletic scholar. Running start student, he was involved in basketball, golf, and was the golf team captain. He enjoys drag racing and fishing. And Donovan plans to work while attending college. That's Donovan Hicks. Laura. Another one of our outstanding exchange students. She came to us all the way from Germany. Das ist gut. We loved having Laura here. Maybe she's watching us live from Germany. You want to guess how many hours ahead they are of us? 1, 2, 3. Try 9. They're 9 hours ahead of us right now. So we started the show at 6. It's like 4 in the morning there right now. Wow. Hopefully she's watching. But Laura, she was a foreign exchange student from Germany, as I said. She was in our publishing program. She enjoyed her strength and conditioning class, the Heroes and Myth class. You can see she was in United States history, marine science, and astronomy. She, of course, is fluent in Germany and in English. Wonderful addition to our student body this year. That's Laura Hoffer. Ayla. Ayla was a Running Start student involved in HOSA, created care packages for the homeless, and helped with local park cleanup efforts. She enjoys playing the bass guitar. That's so cool. Favorite class was honors biology with Mrs. Warrendall. Ayla plans to attend Clark College, then transfer to a university to study plant biotechnology. That's Ayla Holbein. Tanner. Tanner enjoyed and loved, says enjoyed, I know he really enjoyed and loved Mrs. Flanagan's math class. He was in football, track and field, creative chef, and in percussion. Tanner plans to attend a trade school after he graduates. That's Tanner Holmes. Caitlin. Caitlin was a Running Start student. Played former high school volleyball player, tennis, wind ensemble, jazz band, and Spanish Zumba class. I have no idea what that is. I've heard of Zumba, but maybe they do it in Spanish, I guess. That's awesome. Caitlin plans to finish her prerequisites at Clark College, then apply for radiation therapy program at Bellevue College. That's Caitlin Howard. Austin. Austin was in golf, wrestling, and Skills USA. Again, that's that club that Mrs. Miller organized. He enjoys golf, and he was involved in Make a Difference Day as a volunteer. He plans to join the United States Marine Corps, hoorah, after graduation. That's Austin Hunsinger. Hunter. Hunter was involved in our leadership class. He enjoyed auto maintenance, web design, beginning guitar at Woodland High School, and probably set the record for the hardest senior to find during this COVID shutdown. We tried hard to find you, Hunter. Hopefully you're seeing this, but I'm glad you got it in, got it done, got your work done. Proud of you for that. That's Hunter Jackson. Kennedy. Kenny, American Cancer Society Relay for Life participant. And she enjoyed Maestra Kelly's Spanish class very much. Kennedy plans to get an AA degree and pursue nursing. And Kennedy, between you, me, and the world, I know you had some tough stuff going on, and I am just super proud of you. Super, super proud of you and what you've been able to do. Congratulations, Kennedy. That's Kennedy Jackson. Colby. Colby's up next. Another one of our Running Start students, baseball player, and he enjoyed his construction class also at Cascadia Tech. And he plans to finish his associate's degree at Clark. Then he's going to transfer to Washington State University. That's Colby Johnson. How you doing, folks? You hanging with me? Are ya? Keeping that snap up, rolling. All right, you can do it. You can do it. We're all the way to the J's already. We can do it. Marilyn, she's up next. She's been a student of the month. Attended Cascadia Tech Academy in the Information Technology program. That's fancy words for computer stuff. Really good with computers and programming and their information systems. She was a TA for Mr. Greenleaf and Miss Holmes. She enjoyed Mr. Close's AP Euro class. Proud of Marilyn, and good luck to you. That's Marilyn Juarez. Lauren. Lauren, another one of our Running Start students. She was in cross country, basketball, wrestling, track and field, and band. She was team captain for track and field and cross country. She volunteered at her church in the children's nursery. She plans to attend Washington State University in Vancouver and pursue a degree in economics. That's Lauren Kaiser. Hannah. Another one of our 7 exchange students this year. She came to us from Slovakia. And she jumped right in. She got into our dance team, and that dance team is amazing to watch, and she was great on it. She enjoyed AP Calculus, Chemistry, Spanish, Senior English, Medical Science, and Modern World History, all classes she took here at Woodland High School. No surprise, she's fluent in Slovak and in English. Congratulations, Hannah, and I hope you're watching this too from Slovakia right now. That's Hannah Koslova. I was going to clap there, but remember we're doing snaps. Ooh, threw you off there. Landon. Landon was another Running Start student. He was in our Lego Robotics Club, and that is a amazing club that they build robots. They build robots that compete, and they do all these obstacle courses and have tasks they have to do, and Landon was very instrumental in that group. And he was a blood drive volunteer. He plans to attend the School of Mines and Technology in South Dakota after he graduates. That's Landon Lamoureux. Rafe. So it's almost funny looking at him in that picture there without a hat. I don't know if I've ever seen Rafe without a hat. In fact, it looks like he just had a hat on, but okay, I'll leave you alone, Rafe. But Rafe attended Cascadia Tech Academy in the construction program. He was in our leadership class. He enjoyed Mr. Miller's automotive class, spent a lot of time in there, including being a TA for Mr. Miller. Rafe plans to work in construction and enter into the electrical apprenticeship program after he graduates. That's Rafe Lyson. Evan was in our Creative Chef program. He was a volunteer for the holiday gift wrapping program, or for a gift wrapping, program's the best way to say that. He enjoyed Creative Chef at Woodland High School and his culinary class at Cascadia Tech. He plans to work after graduation. That's Evan Licks. Trace was National Honor Society member. He was one of those outstanding student athletes recognized by our Greater St. Helens League. He was a Running Start student, and there you see, super student. Again, I think we only had 3. I think this is the second one I've mentioned here. He was in basketball and in baseball. Community Service Project Awards through his church, youth basketball games, and camp volunteer. Trace plans to attend Washington State University in Vancouver and pursue a degree in computer engineering. This is one smart cookie, and I know he's going to make that happen. That's Trace Logan. Inau, student of the month he's been. He's been in soccer. He's enjoyed all of his teachers he's had at Woodland High School, and just probably one of these young men that I wish I would have gotten to know a little bit better, but I've enjoyed the 4 years you've been here, how hard you've worked to get better at your English. I am proud of you. I'm very proud of you and what you've done. And so he plans on working after graduation while attending Clark College. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Inau Lopez Ramos. Jesus was in soccer. He was a TA for Mr. Roos, made Mr. Roos laugh a lot, or the other way around. He enjoyed his Creative Chef and ceramics classes, and he plans on working after graduation as well. That's Jesus Lopez. Marlene. I'll get that. Sorry about that, Marlene. See, this is authentic. We're not cutting it. We're just rolling with it. Marlene. She was Fine Arts Department Award winner, an outstanding athlete during her athletic season, getting a 3.5 GPA or higher. She's in track and field, Skills USA, and the Women's Empowerment Club. That's a club run by Miss Bullock, and it's exactly as it sounds. It's about empowering women, and they met, I think, pretty much weekly with Miss Bullock. Her favorite quote from Mr. Greenleaf, "The weight room is your friend." He says that all the time. That is a good quote. And she was an Empty Bowls volunteer. That's a great service fundraiser for needy people. Make a Difference Day program and holiday gift giving wrapping volunteer. And Marlene plans to join the United States Marine Corps, hoorah, after graduation. That's Marlene Lopez Cruz. Nayeli. She gets the Language Department Award, Student of the Month Award. She's been a leadership student, and she thoroughly enjoyed Mrs. Condit's AP Government class. Nayeli plans to attend Washington State University, go Cougs, after graduation. That's Nayeli Lopez Cifuentes. Cassandra, leadership student. Very active in that program. She was helpful in our blood drives and the plant cell volunteer. You've heard me talk about both of those already. She enjoys drawing and photography. Cassandra plans to enroll at Clark College after graduation. That's Cassandra Lucatero. Aaron. Hi, Aaron. I wish you were here, Aaron, standing, but we're doing this virtually, aren't we? You hanging with me, Aaron? Thought your name would never come. What would it be like if you're at the end of the alphabet, like Mr. Uhlenkott and I have to do all the time? You're right in the middle. Are you with me, Aaron? All right, here we go. Aaron was in soccer, he was in football, he was a Make a Difference Day volunteer. He enjoys playing soccer and spending time with his family. Aaron plans to attend college after graduation. Good for you, Aaron, that's awesome. That's Aaron Martinez Lopez. Daisy. Now Daisy, if you have ever seen Daisy play basketball, you'd be amazed. Now she is about all that tall, about that tall. And she has amazing ball handling skills. I wish this picture was a little bit more true to her actual smile that she has, because she has an amazing smile and grin that she shares, especially when she's on the basketball court, and she was so much fun to watch. So, great basketball player. She was Woodland Community Action Center and Shop with the Cop volunteer. She plans to work after graduation while attending Evergreen Community College. That's Daisy Martinez. Brooks. Now Brooks was another Running Start student. He was in football, soccer. He was on that dance team that I talked about earlier. He was a team captain for all 3 years, all 3 sports his senior year. Strong leader, great athlete, wonderful young man. Youth football volunteer as well, and he plans to enter the trades after school to become a lineman. Love it. That's Brooke Massey. Noah. See Noah there? Noah's Running Start student. He was in golf, basketball, track and field, FCA, choir. He was a manager for the boys and girls basketball and football programs, and he volunteered at the Woodland Community Action Center. Noah plans to attend Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, and pursue a career in criminal justice. So he's going far, far away to learn how to be a criminal lawyer, I'm going to assume, or maybe a police officer. But off he goes to Lynchburg, Virginia. That's Noah Madison. Dylan. Dylan, a Running Start student. He was in soccer and an FBLA member. He enjoys basketball and tennis and volunteered with, again, our Woodland Community Action Center. And he's another young gentleman who plans on working after graduation. That's Dylan McGee. Brandon. Brandon was a baseball player. He was a team captain for baseball. He was in the Meet a Week Club, community cleanup volunteer. He helping small businesses and Woodland Fire Department building projects volunteer. Again, this is just another young man I got to know and loved working with baseball. Very proud of Brandon, and sorry his baseball season got cut short. I'm sad for all you seniors and what got cut short, not just Brandon, but he would have been amazing and fun to watch this year out there. He plans to move to Lapine, Oregon to attend Reserve Firefighter Program. That's awesome. That's Brandon McGraw. Chase. Coolest hairdo in the whole school. I mean, look at that thing. And this is coming from a guy who has no hair. May not be qualified to speak to it, but I'm jealous. Awesome hairdo, Chase. But he's more than a man with just an awesome hairdo. He volunteered with Make a Difference Day, and he also enjoyed Mrs. Novak's ASL class. And again, that's a sign language class. He plans to work after graduation and start college in the fall. That's Chase McIntyre. Victoria. She gets the Social Studies Department Award. She's been the Student of the Month not once, but twice. She was an FFA, might be the first time I said that one. That's Future Farmers of America. That's a horticulture club run by Miss Pierce. FCA, band, wrestling manager for 2 years. She was a Make a Difference Day, Shop with a Cop, plant sale volunteer, and school supplies drive volunteer. Just gets involved in everything. Great job, Victoria. She plans to join the Navy after graduation. That's Victoria Merlin. Shayna, yearbook committee, volunteers at homeless shelters, and enjoys creative writing. Shayna will stay home for a year, and then she plans to pursue a degree to become a vet tech. That's Shayna Mobbs. Cheyenne. Cheyenne excelled in her floral design and ceramics class, did outstanding in Miss Hillman's class as well. Loved talking to her in there. She enjoys doing calligraphy and artistic projects. Cheyenne plans to continue her education in the Woodland School District next year. That's Cheyenne Mueller. Alicia. She was a manager for girls soccer, boys basketball, and track and field. She was in concert choir, drama club. She's kind and understanding of her classmates, and again, that comes from Miss Gordon, who loved having her in class. That's Alicia Murray. Tuva, another one of our exchange students who came all the way from Norway. She was in soccer, track and field, and publishing. She took Spanish, Algebra 2, U.S. History, Marine Science, Senior English, all this year. And then, no surprise, she's fluent in Norwegian and in English. And another one of those young ladies super proud of that came all the way over here and was a great addition to our student body this year. That's Tuva Neas. Christopher. Christopher was a volunteer with our food drive and holiday gift wrapping programs. And he enjoys drift car events. Not a big fan of those when they do them right there by the school, so hope you didn't do that there, Chris. And car racing. Again, hope you weren't doing that by school. Christopher is thinking about pursuing a career as an electrician. That's Christopher Naranjo. Maya. Maya was one of our Running Start students. She was a choir member. She helped out with Rotary boxes for families in need and the Woodland Community Action Center volunteer. Maya plans to attend Clark College after graduation. That's Maya Nichols. Jade. Jade, our Planners Day queen. And if that wasn't enough, she was also the Fine Arts Department Award winner. She's been a Student of the Month. She's been a choir member, Skills USA, and Make a Difference volunteer. Helped out the Laluska Cultural Center, that's up Lewis River Road there. Volunteer at Woodland Care Center, and a Beaver Camp volunteer. Again, just a young lady involved in all kinds of things. Jade plans to attend Washington State University in Pullman, go Cougs, and pursue a degree in psychology. That's Jade Nosler. Clevert. Now Clevert gets second place, super close in that whole coolest hairdo look. Can't help but love Clevert's hair there. He was a leadership student, enjoyed classes in digital arts, beginning guitar, and maritime trades. Clevert plans on working to save money for college. Hope you do that. Work hard, set a budget, save the money. Don't just buy a new car or something that you really don't need, Clevert. Get after it. That's Clevert Nunez Morales. Kyle. Kyle is a Running Start student. He was involved in basketball, was part of that basketball team that made a great run this year at the end of the year, putting a great winning streak together. Super proud of Kyle and his efforts on that team. He enjoys snowboarding, and he plans to attend Washington State University, go Cougs, in Pullman. That's Kyle Oliver. Kaya. Kaya is one of our Running Start students, and she also is graduating with that associate's degree. So next year, she'll be starting out as a junior when she attends, or plans to attend the University of Washington. I'll talk more about that in a second. She's getting her AA from Clark. She was in basketball, volleyball, and track and field, and she also volunteered in many of our youth camps. Amazing, delightful young lady. Kaya plans to attend the University of Washington, go Huskies, and earn a business degree. That's Kaya Olson. Parker. Parker is a Running Start student. He was in wrestling, cross country, baseball, and track and field, and probably had the nastiest pickoff move as a lefty on the pitching mound that I've ever seen for a high school student. It was great. He did Make a Difference Day and was in youth wrestling volunteer, and he also enjoyed Mrs. Novak's ASL class. He plans to attend college to study business and finance. That's Parker Owen. Elizabeth. Elizabeth, National Honor Society member. She gets the Gold Level Community Service Award. Now, no surprise here. I think you have over 50 hours to get that. And again, you heard earlier, 361 plus hours. Absolutely amazing, Elizabeth. Social Studies Department Award winner, and there's our third Super Student Award winner. She was in Drama Club, FFA. She was the chapter president for that and was the district reporter. She helped out with the Beaver Crew and Girl Scout volunteer. She enjoyed Mrs. Vetter's horticulture class early in high school, which led her to love FFA. And she also enjoyed performing at the Love Street Playhouse. Good for you, Elizabeth. Didn't know you did that. She plans to attend St. Martin University to study elementary education. Another teacher there. Awesome. That's Elizabeth Patnode. Caitlin. Caitlin was Culinary Arts Department Award winner, Student of the Month not once but twice. She's been involved in Skills USA competitions, creative chef, choir member, drama club, and she was the treasurer and state secretary. Yes, the state secretary for the Skills USA program, and she was the former chapter president. She also helped out with the Empty Bowls fundraiser and food drive volunteer. Again, a young lady that just gives and gives and gives of her time. Caitlin plans to work hard towards her goal to own her own bakery. That young lady is going to do it, and it will be amazing. That's Caitlin Paulson. Braden. Braden was one of those TAs in the counseling department. They certainly enjoyed having him working there, and he enjoyed horticulture, strength and conditioning, and beginning metal class. Braden plans to work in plumbing trade after graduation. That's Braden Perez. Evelyn. Evelyn also has been one of our outstanding students of the month. Was all involved in FFA and Make a Difference Day volunteer. And she plans to attend Clark College after she graduates. That's Evelyn Pinsley. Christopher. Although I call him Chris, but we'll go with Christopher on here. Baseball and band. Church worship and band volunteer. He also enjoyed Mrs. Steck's band class and was one of the instrumental guys in that pep band, showing up at basketball games, a real amazing contributor to the pep band effort. Chris plans to work hard, hope you do, after graduation. Find a great job and make us proud, Chris. That's Chris Porter. Zizek Presley. Whoops, wasn't supposed to say your last name. I've been good for a while on that. Zizek. Is that like the coolest first name ever? Amazing. He was in soccer, creative chef. He volunteered at the Woodland Action Center and the Make a Difference Day in October here in Woodland. Zizek plans to travel to Germany to study abroad after graduation. That's Zizek Presley. Mara. Mara was a National Honor Society member. She was a Running Start student. She also receives a gold level community service award for 3 straight years, so giving of her times and talents over 50 hours every year. She was in soccer, dance team, drama club, and the GSA club. She was a program aide and camp food bank volunteer for the Girl Scouts. She was a Luska Cultural Center volunteer, Port of Woodland cleanup, and Walk for the Poor volunteer. Again, another young lady just gives tremendously of her time and talents. She enjoys traditional dancing at the Luska Cultural Center, ballet, and performing at the Love Street Playhouse. Mara plans to attend, that's right, my alma mater. Go Mara, go Lutz. She's going to Pacific Lutheran University. That's Mara Reese. Camila. Camila gets the Director's Award for choir. Again, that's like the department award, but it's the Director's Award. A little elevated there from Mr. Leobrat. She was in jazz choir and concert choir. She helped out with the Rotary Holiday gift wrapping and Snowflake Bazaar volunteer. She enjoyed Mr. Leobrat's class. He truly inspired her, and I know he truly enjoyed having her in class. She did a great job in a creating and writing class as well, according to Miss Gordon. Camilla plans to work and attend beauty school. That's Camilla Renderos. Parker. Parker was involved in wrestling, football, and basketball. He was an FBLA member and in publishing. Parker has participated in criminal justice programs at Cascadia Tech Academy for the past 2 years. Congratulations, Parker. We're going to miss you. I mean that. That's Parker Reyes. Carly. Carly is one of our students in the top 5% of the class of 2020. She was an academic scholar and again one of those athletic scholars during her seasons, 3.5 or higher. She gets the Social Studies Department award tonight. She was the senior class secretary, Junior Masonic Achievement Award representative her junior year, and she's been the Student of the Month not once, but twice, but 3 times. She was involved in volleyball, basketball, and part of that state championship fast pitch team. She's a volunteer at the Woodland Action Center, Shop with the Cop, and Beaver Crew volunteer. Again, just another young lady who gives tremendously of her time and talents. She plans to attend Clark College to pursue a career in nursing. That's Carly Risley. Destiny. Destiny was in fast pitch, soft soccer, and in cheer. She was in Woodland Community Action Center volunteer and Rotary Holiday Shopping volunteer. Loved having Destiny. I was part of helping with that Rotary shopping, and she was great to have along. Destiny plans to attend Washington State University in Pullman, go Cougs, to pursue, love it, another elementary teacher. That's Destiny Rogers. Winter. Winter was a running start student. She was in fast pitch, volleyball, and a wrestling manager. She enjoyed Mr. Miller's auto shop class, loved talking to her when she was in that class. Just lovely conversations we would have. Volunteer firefighter while attending the fire cadet program at Cascadia Tech Academy. Winter plans to start a career in the Department of Natural Resources and work as a wildland firefighter. And this young lady is rough and tough in that regard. She will get her done. That's Winter Ross. Cameron. She was in jazz choir. She did Shop with the Cop volunteer, enjoyed Mr. Lee Broughton's jazz choir class and Mrs. Novak's ASL class. Cameron plans to work after graduation before going to college. That's Cameron Rubatten. Sean's been a Student of the Month. Again, here's another young man. I hardly recognize him without a hat on. He was in baseball, golf. He was a leadership student. He was a TA for Mrs. Kiefer, and he certainly enjoyed Mr. Miller's automotive class. Sean plans to pursue an apprenticeship program in carpentry after he graduates. That's Sean Sadlier. Spencer. Here's my buddy Spencer. Spencer enjoys flying with his friend who is a pilot. He didn't write on here, but Spencer and I talk about Blazer basketball pretty much every day. And he's been pretty bummed, as I have, that the NBA season got put on hold. So Spencer, the one thing we can't do is complain that the Blazers are losing all the time. So I've missed talking to you about the Blazers. Huge Blazer fan, Spencer is. He's a volunteer at his church, and he also enjoyed and did a great job in Mrs. Pierce's horticulture class and was a very outstanding student in Mrs. Hillman's class. Spencer plans to work in construction after graduation. That's Spencer Solis. Ruth's been a Student of the Month. She was involved in our publishing and yearbook committee and class. She enjoyed Mrs. Bullock's English class and was a volunteer with our Woodland High School plant sale. Ruth plans to attend Lower Columbia College and pursue a career in nursing. Aha, messed up. That's Ruth Saldana. There we go. I was messed up because I was thinking, that I think is our 4th or 5th nurse that I've read in this crew. I'm just super pleased to hear that. My beautiful bride is a nurse, and that is a very outstanding career field to go into. High need, and I'm glad so many of our students are pursuing that direction. That's what got me off track there. I was thinking about all that, snapped too early. Hey, Josiah's up. Josiah. Here's a man that I don't think ever see not smile. I kid you not. So this is a great look. That's how I always see Josiah, is that great smile. Junior Masonic Achievement Award winner his junior year. Running start student. He's been a Student of the Month 2 years. Josiah was a wrestler, and an outstanding wrestler. He was in soccer, cross country, FCA, and was their president. Again, that's the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He's the team captain for wrestling. He's been in his church volunteer, wrestling assistant coach, and Woodland Action Community Center volunteer. And Josiah plans to attend Lifestyle Christian University in Texas and spread the gospel throughout the world. That sounds perfect. That's great, Josiah. Proud of you for that. That's Josiah Sanders. Austin. Austin is one of our academic scholars. He's a running start student. He's volunteered at the Action Center. He's a sportsman show volunteer as well. And his favorite class was chemistry with Mr. Finley, which is impressive because that means he took that his sophomore year. And not a lot of our sophomores in this class, when they were sophomores, took chemistry. So great job there, Austin. Austin plans to attend college to pursue an accounting degree after graduation. That's Austin Schoenborn. Casey. Casey was in our drama club. She was in Creative Chef, and she also was another one of our volunteers at the Woodland Community Action Center. She plans to work after graduation. That's Casey Schreiner. Rafaela, another one of our exchange students, and again, this was so sad because she was a mid-year exchange student, so she came to us literally in January as the second semester was getting ready to start, and made it a couple months, and then she had to go home. So I wish we would have gotten to know her a little bit better, and again, that's why there's no picture. She was only here literally for, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months, somewhere in there, and then had to go home. But she's an exchange student from Austria. She got into our publishing program, and while she was here, she enjoyed our strength and conditioning. You can see the classes there: Heroes and Myths, U.S. History, Marine Sciences, and Astronomy. And shockingly, she's fluent in 2 languages, German and English. We wish you could have been here longer, Rafaela, but we're glad we got to know you. That's Rafaela Schwenter. Paige. Paige gets the PE, or the Physical Education Department Award. She's been elected or won Student of the Month. She was in wrestling, soccer, track and field, and band. She was a Salvation Army volunteer. She also enjoyed Mr. Lindsay's pre-calculus class. Paige plans to attend a community college and travel. That's Paige Schaefer. Ruslan. Ruslan was a running start student. He enjoys hiking, off-roading, and volunteers as a camera operator at his church. How cool is that? Ruslan plans to pursue a career in architecture or mechanical engineering. That's Ruslan Sharshkakov. Aaron. Aaron's top 5 student in the class of 2020. He was an academic scholar, running start student, baseball, football, cross country, FBLA, Meet a Weed, creative writing, FBLA president for 2 years. Make a Difference Day, Shop with the Cop, Woodland Care Center, weekly visits, Woodland Action Center volunteer, tree planting, and beloved drives. This guy gives, and he does it with that smile all the time. He's one of those guys, again, like Josiah, I never see without that smile on his face. Absolutely delightful young man. After a 2-year mission with his church, Aaron plans to finish his bachelor's degree, then pursue a major in engineering with a minor in business at Brigham Young University in Utah. That's Aaron Shaw. Dalton. He enjoyed marine science, zoology, heroes, myth, and legends. He had fun in Mrs. Ruff digital arts class and Miss Cooper's ceramics class. And he also enjoys gaming and YouTube, which you're watching this on right now, right? YouTube, amazing. So you must like it. That's Dalton Shepard. Mackenzie. Mackenzie was in WASET. Again, I talked about that. That's the equestrian program. She was in choir. She enjoyed Mr. Clevenger's math class, and she volunteered with blood drives, therapeutic writing centers for troubled kids. I forgot to mention this earlier when I was talking about my bad Isaac Hall. Isaac Hall is going to be one of our graduation speakers. He was selected by a panel, and Mackenzie is another one of our senior speakers this year for graduation. So Mr. Yolencott's going to remind me at the end to talk to you about graduation, but Mackenzie, congratulations on being chosen as selected as one of the speakers. She plans to attend college, Clark College, to obtain an associate's degree in biology and then pursue a bachelor's degree in forensic science. That's Mackenzie Sibley. Dalen. Now Dalen, outstanding senior of the year, voted by the faculty. That is a tremendous honor, Dalen. That means you had to be student of the month this year, and then the entire staff voted on those students that were student of the month, and only those 8, 9, 10 of those kids were available to get student of the year, and you got it. So congratulations, one of our outstanding seniors of the year. She's this year's senior class president, which means when graduation comes, she also is going to speaking, and she's going to read all these names. It won't be me. It'll be Dalen. She also got the Social Studies Department Award, ASB Treasurer for 2 years, worked with Cindy Thoney, did great. She's been the Student of the Month for 3 different years. She was in fast pitch, part of that state championship group that made the run over the last 2 years. Basketball, JV basketball co-captain, and she also enjoyed Miss Condit's AP government class. She plans to attend the University of Oregon, go Ducks, to study social work after this year. That's Dalen Seipel. Derek. Derek's another one of our leadership students. He was Woodland High School's first manufacturing apprentice at Cascadia Tech Academy. That's so cool. This is a 2-year program that includes being paid on the job during your training. And he also volunteered with underprivileged students. Derek plans to finish his machinist apprenticeship. That's Derek Skeleton. Logan. Logan was in wrestling. He enjoyed history and learning about World War II and the Civil War. He's also into fishing and playing his guitar. He volunteered at the Woodland Community Action Center, and he plans to join the Army and work in construction. That's Logan Smith. Maya, another one of our exchange students, came all the way from Sweden. And yes, that smile is genuine. That's how she looked all the time in the hallways here. She was in soccer, track and field, a FBLA member. She helped out with the holiday gift wrapping program and certainly enjoyed Mrs. Cooper's art class. She's fluent in Swedish and in English. She plans to study science, travel the world, and start her own company. That's Maya Sorensen. Kara. Kara was a Running Start student, and she also is going to be graduating with her associate's degree. Amazing. She was in basketball and in fast pitch, and she was part of the Free the Children Club volunteer that we had here at school. She plans to attend the University of Jamestown in North Dakota to study business communications. That's Kara Stubbs. Nathan. Nathan's been a student of the month. He's been in wrestling, soccer, and in cross country. He also was one of our youth wrestling volunteers. Nathan plans to attend Portland Community College and continue with the fire science program, and he plans to pursue the field of being an EMT. First responders, love it. Thank you, Nathan. That's Nathan Swami. Kelly, Running Start student. She was involved in volleyball, part of that fast pitch state championship team, soccer, basketball, and team captain for basketball. She also is one of our volunteers for Beaver Crew, bringing in the new 8th graders. And I think she was the very first senior on cap and gown pickup day to actually get her cap and gown. So first responder, we call that. Nice job, Kelly. She plans to attend the University of Montana. It doesn't say on the slide here, but I know she's been to play softball. She got a scholarship to play softball there. That's Kelly Swire. Jordan. Jordan gets the English Department Award winner. She excelled in AP English both her junior and senior year. She was in Beaver Camp volunteer, Make a Difference volunteer, and was part of the planning committee for Make a Difference Day. She also enjoyed Miss Gordon's AP English classes. She's a quiet scholar with many interests, shared Miss Gordon. She plans to work after graduation while attending community college. That's Jordan Terrian. Itzel. Itzel was a choir member, Make a Difference Day volunteer, and enjoyed Mrs. Pierce's horticulture class. She plans to attend cosmetology school after she graduates. That's Itzel Terriguez Rodriguez. Sam. Again, another dude I'm not used to seeing without a hat. In fact, that might be the first time I've ever seen Sam without a hat. You look good. Might need to trim the beard there a little bit, buddy, but you look good. Sam was a Snowflake Bazaar volunteer. He also was very active in Mr. Miller's auto class and automotive technology program at Cascadia Tech. His favorite hobbies are dirt biking, riding, clay pigeon shooting, and just flat out hassling Mr. Shout. A couple of his favorite pastimes. Sam plans to work at Dick Hanna Chrysler after graduation. That's a man with a plan and knows where he's going. That's Samuel Thomas. Aiden. Aiden plays soccer. And when I say plays soccer, he is phenomenal. Phenomenal soccer player. He was the soccer captain. He also was in our publishing program. Did I mention he's a phenomenal soccer player? Yeah. We may be watching him on TV sometime, getting paid big money to play soccer. He's a Beaver Crew volunteer. He enjoys soccer, piano, and sound engineering. He plans to attend Seattle Pacific University to play soccer and study applied human biology. That's Aiden Thrall. Tucker. Here's another young man that graduated at mid-year, and this was cool when he did. We asked him if he wanted to have a little ceremony, because we do these mid-year ceremonies. It's like, no, Tucker, no. I want the real one. I want the big one in front of everybody, at the end of the year. It's like, dude, sorry. Hopefully we still get to do that July 10th, but he was done before the whole COVID thing, so congratulations on that, Tucker. He worked hard to get that done. He was in Creative Chef and in Jazz Choir. He was a TA in the counseling department, and he enjoyed Mr. Kelly's honors English class. Tucker plans on working after graduation. Just a delightful young man, and hopefully we get to have that real ceremony for you on July 10th. That's Tucker Traffy. Emma. Emma attended Cascadia Tech Academy in their automotive program. She was in concert choir, leadership student, enjoys working on cars as a hobby and as a career path. She enjoyed Coach Woody's leadership class and was awesome in there, according to Coach Woody. She plans to work and save money after graduation, then pursue an automotive-related career. That's Emma Turner. Cassidy. Cassidy was a leadership student. She was in soccer, wrestling, and in track and field. She helped out with the Oregon Food Bank, the youth soccer volunteer, and also enjoyed Coach Woody's leadership class. She plans to work after graduation and attend a trade school. That's Cassidy Upson. Nancy. So proud of this young lady. She has come so far in 4 years, just amazing talent that she's become. When I was talking about being voted Outstanding Student of the Year earlier, that was Dalen. I should have mentioned there's 2 winners of that. Nancy's the other. So congratulations, Nancy. You've been voted by the faculty as the Outstanding Senior of the Year. She also gets the Culinary Arts Department Award. She's been the Student of the Month 2 different years. She's in Skills USA and was the Washington State President this year for Skills USA and Leadership Camp Volunteer. She enjoyed Coach Woody's leadership class, and she plans to become an EMT as well after graduation. Outstanding work, Nancy. That's Nancy Valenzuela. Jose was one of our soccer players. He attended Cascadia Tech Academy, and he was in their fire science program. According to Miss Gordon, he was one of the most respectful, kind, and caring students with a good sense of humor that she enjoyed in her class. Congratulations, Jose. We truly are proud of you. That's Jose Vasquez Rojas. Julia was in track and field. She attended Cascadia Tech Academy and applied medical science programs. She was a TA for Mr. Van Cleef, and she enjoyed her AP Government class and her AP US History classes taught there by Mrs. Condit. Congratulations, Julia, another outstanding student here. That's Julia Vasquez Rojas. Seth. Oh my goodness, Seth. It's good to see you here at the finish line. I know it's been a challenge, and we are so happy and proud, Seth, that you're going to make it, that you're going to graduate. I know it's been a rough road, so I'm glad you're here, Seth, or there, wherever you're watching this from. He was in leadership. He was one of our baseball players, great baseball player, starting center fielder. He took strength and conditioning, ceramics, and maritime trades, and he enjoyed Mrs. Novak's ASL class. So, gonna miss you, Seth. Congratulations. That's Seth Valesky. Caitlin was a Running Start student, was in drama club, and she also enjoyed Mrs. Warndall's medical science classes. She plans to work after graduation. That's Caitlin Von Bargen. AJ, or Aaron, but we'll go with AJ. AJ was a Running Start student. He was in football and trap team. I didn't mention trap earlier, but these are the guys that are shooting those clay pigeons. And Mr. Musgrove was our leader of that group, but AJ was in that club. Woodland Community Action Center volunteer. He helped out with Rotary holiday gift wrapping as well. And he also enjoyed Mrs. Warrendahl and the classes that she taught. He plans to attend Midland University in Nebraska and join the shotgun team. That's awesome. That's AJ Vossen. Jenna. Jenna was a Running Start student. She enjoyed her Cascadia Tech Academy dental class, and she was a volunteer of the Make a Difference Day and the Rotary Holiday Gift Giving. Just a delightful young lady, just always that kind smile on her face, kind heart, just gives. Gonna miss you, Jenna. She plans to travel after graduation. That's Jenna Waddy. Jenica. Jenica was another one of our leadership students. She was in our floral program and the floral design program. She was a TA for Mrs. Kiefer, enjoyed her history classes. She volunteered helping the elderly in our community. She plans to attend Arizona State University, go Sun Devils, and study psychology. That's Jenica Ward. Oli Warrendahl. Oli. Running Start student. He also is graduating with his associate's degree. That's great. Good for you, Oli. Proud of you. He's been the Student of the Month twice. He was in the HOSA program all 4 years, I know that, and was their 4-year president. 4 years president of HOSA. Wow. And was in the Me to We Club. He was a blood drive volunteer and helped organize those, I know. He enjoys snowboarding and hiking. Oli plans to attend Brigham Young University in Idaho to study endocrinology. And that is, I looked that up. It's about hormones and glands. That's what that's about. And so that's super cool that he's going to be doing that. That's Oli Warrendahl. Travin, another one of my guys that I talk about the Blazers all the time. Travin and I talk Blazers along with Spencer, and again, we're sad they're not playing. Travin was in our leadership program, and he enjoyed Mrs. Hillman's class, his math class, and playing basketball with his friends, and again, giving Mr. Schaup a bad time pretty much every day. Travin plans to continue his education in the Woodland School District after graduation. That's Travin Watson. Lee was one of our leadership students, creative chef student, and has a strong culinary promise and potential, according to Mrs. Miller. So hopefully, Lee, that's a direction you're going to pursue and get after. Find what you love to do and figure out a way to make a learning, earning, and a career out of it. Sounds like that's where you should really be looking. That's Lee Webster. Spencer, not east, but west. Whoops, I'll get to that at the end. Running Start student. Football, basketball, track and field, highly active in our athletic program. He volunteered with the Woodland Community Action Center as well as the Holiday Gift Wrapping Program. And he plans to pursue a career in real estate after graduation. That's Spencer West. Kaylee, top 5%. Again, amazing academic performance all 4 years. Academic scholar, such a hard award to get. ASB historian, Running Start student, Junior Masonic Achievement Award winner her junior year, Student of the Month not once but twice. And if that wasn't enough, she was in soccer, golf, cheer, track and field, jazz choir, and HOSA program. She plans to attend Montana State University to obtain a bachelor's in science. Bachelor of Science in nursing. Another nurse coming at us. That's Kaylee Wiest. Caleb was in our trap team. Very, very talented shooter with a gun after those pigeons, clay pigeons. He was a team captain. He enjoys hunting, shed hunting, and fishing. He was also a cattle ranch volunteer. Caleb plans to go into the trades and pursue welding after graduation. That's Caleb Wingfield. Francisco, football player, soccer player, basketball player, youth football volunteer. He also enjoyed Coach Woody's leadership class and support from Coach Woody. Francisco is considering joining the Army after he graduates. That's Francisco Yeager. Rachel, Running Start student. She was in cheer, track and field. She also enjoyed Mrs. Warrendahl's honors biology class, and she was a volunteer at Legacy Salmon Creek. She plans to attend the University a university and pursue, here's another one, another nurse. Outstanding. Love all these nurses coming out of this class. That's Rachel Young. Elva. Elva was in soccer, Woodland Community Action Center, Make a Difference Day, volunteer, Woodland Connect Night, and a church volunteer. And she enjoyed the ELL, which is English Language Learners, helping students get better at their English, which taught her English. Elva attended Cascadia Tech, studying applied medical science. And look at this, look where this is going. She plans to attend Clark College while pursuing a degree in nursing. Outstanding. That's Elva Zorate Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the class of 2020 from Woodland High School. Let's give it up. A little applause. Woohoo! Absolutely outstanding group of students. So 2 concluding comments on this little piece before we roll into the senior slideshow that's produced again by Mr. Van Cleef. The first one is, again, about graduation. I kind of mentioned I would get there, but graduation is set for July 10th. We have to be in phase 4 to have the full-blown graduation, to have us out at the stadium or all of us together. We have to be in phase 4. That's what that rule is. If we can't and aren't in phase 4, you need to hear this. That's what we voted on. When I say we, I mean senior parents, senior students. Then we're going to have to be virtual. It'll be a live stream virtual. It'll be at 7 o'clock. Graduation is going to happen on July 10th, but it's either going to be the full thing in phase 4 or a live stream virtual. We're hoping for the first, planning for the second. Last thing I'm going to say here is, that's it. It's the last time I'm going to do that. Last time I'm going to talk about a group of kids as your principal. And the senior class is my senior class. And I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss the school. I'm going to miss doing this. It's been a special place for me. It's been an honor. It's been a privilege. You'll hear me again at graduation. I'll talk one more time, and yeah, I'll well up a little bit, but it is a little emotional for me because I've been doing this for 22 years. Talking about the kids, we used to clap, but we did the snap. Thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for bearing with my funny jokes, my goofy jokes, and my mispronounced names. So thank you for that honor. Thank you for that privilege. And one last time, Mr. Shoup out, congratulations to the class of 2020.
the surface, be still as the tomb. All await being born, an ordeal that can come none too soon. Out among the rocks and snakes, I'm laying down. It's more fun to live with trouble than without. From the mouth of our cave, I will show you a bird blocks the sun. If they spoke, we would tremble, but they teach not in language alone. How the uncharted world is a word once inscribed on a stone. Out among the rocks and snakes, I'm laying down. While castles fall and kings are toppled all around, you can see the awful cloud that forms ahead. But inside, the hearth is dry and warm the bed. could have.